episode 141, episode 141 of the Goodfellas podcast. It's your boy G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. And I got my main man with me, Boxing First Vlog, aka the General, aka Blunt Bayless, aka Mr. 1K. What's going on, bro?
Oh man, I came in the door venting and shit, man. I was in class today, bro. The instructor was muting me, man. I'm like, I found that a little bit disrespectful. I'm like, my mouthpiece is bonkers. I'm interacting. I'm trying to get the conversation brewing. I'm not sitting around waiting for the rest of these clowns in the class to do they 1 2. Like I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like trying. I don't know, bro. It's weird, bro. People are weird.
Hey,
I apologize. I apologize to the.
Nah, we good. We good. I just had to set for 5:15, so I just had to, jump in real quick. Big shout out to everybody, man. We got a lot to talk about today. I feel like I gotta announce him as a special guest, but we're expecting Shane to be in the building today, so that'll be cool. And we got a whole bunch to talk about. Our main purpose today is going to be Bivol versus Zurdo. Ramirez is going down this Saturday, and a lot of people are not really talking about it. We also have David Morrell. David Morrell has his own card this weekend as well on PBC. We're definitely going to get into that. Jason Rosario is on the undercard of that, and Nate Gallimore is on the card as well. So, and then we got some other fights on the Zurdo and Bivol card that's good, solid undercard fights on there as well. So we'll take a look at the schedule and everything. But we're a hardcore channel, right? But we don't ignore the fact of there's just certain things that's just being talked about, and we just have to get it out the way. So obviously the topic that everyone is talking about is Spence Crawford failed negotiations, when, why, how, and all of that. And right on cue, my main man Shane in the building. What's going on, bro?
I'm good. What's up?
You look confused.
Just a little bit quiet, but it's cool.
Okay. Hey man, I said hey Shane. I told Vlog he looked like he's about to rob a Fortune 500 company right now, bro. It's my guy, man.
I'm trying to get that inside lane. You feel me?
I feel you. So Shane, just to kind of brief you, like we definitely talking Zurdo, Bivol today. We're definitely gonna get into the undercard of that. David Morrell has a fight this weekend. Jason Rosario's on the undercard. So was Nate Gallimore. We got a night. This is a hardcore weekend of fights this weekend, man. So definitely looking forward to it. We're gonna get.
I don't even like that statement. I don't like that statement. You know.
I feel like I have to say it though.
I know why. I know why you're saying it.
I don't like it either. But the state of boxing is at a point now where I feel like we have to say those things. Like nobody's talking about Zurdo and Bivol.
This is why I say we shouldn't say it, because every week we have these boxing pessimists, these detractors, these ones who are always criticizing the current state of boxing, whether it's because of failed negotiations, whether it's because of promotional companies, whether it's because the best not fighting the best. We always have these criticisms. People always like almost backtracking away from boxing, and they use the argument of the best don't fight the best, or there's too much politics. Here is a fight where if those fans are really true fans, and I've been hearing it a lot recently, because of the current state of boxing, because if those fans are really true fans, when we do get the best versus the best, or some of the best fighters within a weight class fight each other like we get this Saturday, I hope those same fans who are begging for the best versus the best is happy, is satisfied. You know,
Yeah.
that's an amazing card, but a lot of people are just criticizing the state of boxing right now, and I just don't know why. When if you're gonna criticize it, at least make sure you're investing in the parts of the sport that are giving you value for money.
Yeah, it's crazy because I feel like I have to put out like two different disclaimers. And speaking of hardcore, Andre Southgate in the building. I said here listening, man. Big shout out to Andre Southgate, man. One of the most hardcore boxing people I know. L Dub the Pluzug in the building. Say what's good? What's up with you, big bro? He said there is a good hardcore boxing fan card tonight on UFC Fight Pass. Callum Walsh versus Boychuk Boychuk returns. Damn, I forgot about that too. Yeah. And it's a lot of these smaller cards that got good quality fights on there, and they're getting lost in the shuffle. Like, as much as we don't want to admit it, they're getting lost in the shuffle because of, you know, it's getting kind of WWE-ish, in boxing. You tune into certain places and it's kind of like you're recapping what was the argument on Twitter or what was the argument on Instagram. What we gonna do today though, we gonna get back to old school, old fashioned Goodfellas podcast type stuff here. We definitely gonna break down some film on Zurdo and Bivol, but let's start there. I got the Bud for the people that want to listen later on. If you want to hear what Bud had to say about Spence, I got it queued up if you want to hear it. But we getting into this Bivol and Zurdo talk like right out the gate, like off top. Vlog, I'll start with you, bro. Who do you like in this fight? Because I don't think we've had a discussion about this fight on or off camera. You on mute, baby.
I got Bivol easy.
Decision?
Yeah. I think Zurdo's been through enough, I wouldn't say wars, but contests that, he can hold his own. I haven't seen him chinny in the past. He's been in with a couple guys that got some handlebars, you know what I mean? So I think he can hold up. And then Bivol's not really like per se a killer like that, you know what I mean? Bivol like to do his work and get out of danger. So I don't think he's going to really put foot on the gas and go for the kill. I give him speed advantage for sure. You know what I mean? You can easily see in my little clip, my short. Check out my short if you want to put that up for the focus. You can easily see the speed advantage. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's right off top. But basically, I got Bivol easy. Okay. Maybe not unanimous decision, but definitely 4, maybe 5 round.
You thinking like 9? You thinking like 9-3, something like that?
9-3, something like that. 8-4.
Shane Vlog has Bivol 9-3, 8-4 type fight. What you think, bro?
I mean, I think in order for the fight to be closer, it's on Zurdo Ramirez. Zurdo Ramirez has to do something, that is gonna offset Bivol's game, because Bivol will be in that gear all fight. He's not gonna get greedy and go for more. He's not gonna get he's not gonna fight too much outside of his remit, So Zurdo's gonna have to do something to get Bivol doing something different. I heard Bivol talk about earlier how much combination punches. One of the things where what gives me even more of an advantage, gives me even more of an idea that I think Bivol's gonna win, is because Bivol's one of the few fighters who openly speaks about his opponent's previous fights and his opponent's weaknesses, and he always talks about the tape that he watches on fighters. You know, and I hate when I hear fighters say they don't watch tape on their opponent, because I just think you're dropping the ball there. You know, it's always good to know what you're gonna come up against. And he spoke about something which I personally would have highlighted if I was in his camp as well, which shows me he's doing good tape work, which is the fact that.
Real quick, Shay, when you say that, that reminds me of somebody saying they don't check the weather before they go outside. Like, you know what I mean? Come on, bro. That doesn't make
you
any
guys
sense.
have heard this before, though. You've heard
Yeah, I
fighters
know,
say they
but
don't watch tape.
it's similar to that. Like, it doesn't make any sense. If you have the opportunity, now, if it's a guy that's no tape and you kind of, you know, pulling in from overseas or something like that, you might get that in certain circumstances. But in general, we talking about upper echelon and names. These guys, it's enough homework out there for these guys to definitely do it. And I think it's cap most of the time. But I ain't want to cut you off though, young buck.
I blame Floyd for this shit, man. I swear, man. I blame Floyd for this shit, man, because he gets on camera. No, I don't watch no tape. I just go in there and make adjustments. And then you hear the most trash fighters out there say the exact same thing. I'm like, bro, you are not talented to be going in there making adjustments. You need to watch all the film you can watch, because you are trash, my man. And I blame Floyd for that, man. There's so many guys that make that exact same statement, and it's not even cool. Like, it's not even cool. Like,
I don't see where the benefit is of saying I mean, obviously, obviously you're just trying to make it seem like the dude's not important and I don't even have to watch him.
Right.
But the I'm just hoping that, as Blunt saying, they're capping. If it's genuinely true and you're not watching tape on your opponent, yeah, it's like going outside without checking the weather. Literally like that. And
negligence.
Literally, and Bivol was saying, going into the Zurdo fight, which is going to be different to the Canelo, is Canelo fights in spurts. Zurdo's going to apply more pressure, like in terms of punch output. So that's something that we've been working on in camp. Hearing him say something like that makes me think that, because that's the first observation that I see in comparison to Canelo and Zurdo. They both ain't got the best footwork in terms of foot speed, but when they do get in range, one tends to pick shots and load up on punches in Canelo, and you got another one who tends to go for a lot more volume, 5, 6, and 7s, and he's gonna try hit you on the way out and on the way in. So Bivol did observe that. So the fact that he had been watching that in camp and he's seen that, to me, I just think, that's credit to him for actually making that observation.
Yeah, and the thing that I like about Bivol, and not saying that Zurdo don't watch tape or anything like that, we're really just talking Bivol because he spoke on it. It's one thing to watch tape, but then you have to know how to apply what you're seeing on tape and still stay within yourself. Like, not get completely out of character, try to turn into a completely different fighter based off of what you're seeing on tape. Bivol always stays within himself, inside of the ring, and you can tell he watched film. You can tell, because he adjusts about 2-3 times during the course of a 12-round fight, and it doesn't matter who he's fighting. You know what I'm saying? So that's good. It's refreshing to hear, to be honest with you. Like, it's really refreshing to hear, because he didn't have to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't have to say that at all. And the fact that he came out and said it, like, that's a breath of fresh air. And even Zurdo said in the interview, he was like, Bivol has no holes. He literally said that. He said Bivol has no holes in his game. I mean,
I think, and I know Blunt's gonna probably disagree with me when I say this, but I feel like it's a shame. It's a shame that people aren't talking about this fight on the weekend. The reason why I say that is because when boxing is literally getting shot on by everyone, like literally people are just throwing shit at the sport from every direction, and we got failed negotiations, failed drug tests, promotional companies doing all sorts of crazy stuff. When we're seeing all of this in boxing, this week we have the chance to see, in my opinion, if he wins the fight, the fighter of the year in terms of accomplishments in 1 year, in the fact that he's probably fought 2 of the better fighters in a year and got a win over them. So when I hear nobody talk about fights like that, it just makes me think, really and truly, you just want to complain. It's like Blunt. Imagine if you had a wife, and whenever you do something wrong, she's just saying, Blunt, you doing this wrong. You need to do this right. And then whenever you do something right, you don't get any form of gratitude. You just start to think within yourself, this person is just a hater. They have no constructive criticism. They have nothing positive to say other than being negative. And unfortunately, a lot of these people in the sport, they just do it to almost push this negative narrative on the sport, and they don't appreciate the positives that we get.
Yeah. No, well said. I actually want to get into L Dub's comment real quick. He said, I talked about this fight on my channel. Who is not talking about this fight?
Mainstream.
Drop some names. Mainstream, bro. I'll drop some names. Fight Hype. I ain't seen Fight Hype did nothing on this.
Fight
nothing
Hub's
extensive.
Fight Hype.
Fight Hub has Fight Hub, yes. Fight Hype, no. Boxing Scene, no. Nothing extensive. All of the major media networks, a lot of them haven't done anything.
Just put their first news clip out about this fight yesterday, and
this
fight is in 2 days.
And if we want to keep it real, bro, let's look at YouTube. We're in the YouTube circle, and I've seen videos people talking about Errol Spence Crawford, and cool, we can talk about Errol Spence Crawford. I've seen people talking about Conor Benn. Still people talking about Jake Paul. And I'm just like, people talking about Tyson Fury and the interview that he done, and I'm just thinking to myself, when you got so many people criticizing what's going on in boxing, have the same energy when you get something positive. Have that same energy, bro.
We got 2 world title fights on this weekend.
Same card. On the same card.
I'm like, how is this not like at the upper echelon of promotional talk, fan talk? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's 2 undefeated fighters as well, bro.
Bro, it's crazy.
In fact,
one dude chasing history, one dude chasing Floyd. If he can overcome that, bro, this could be upset. This could be up there with Kiko Martinez on the upset side of the game.
Bro, it's actually 4 undefeated fighters. Because, wait, Zelfa Barrett, has he lost 1 fight? He lost 1 fight.
He lost 1 fight.
Exactly.
He lost 1 fight.
1 fight between
the 4. He just lost the old boy, too. Matter of fact, the boy he lose to, he fighting this weekend. The boy Zafar lost to. He fighting this weekend.
But Rakhimov hasn't lost the fight before. Zurdo's on 44-0, which, as Blunt rightly says, he's 6 behind Floyd. Bivol, he's just fought. And bro, some of the media that's gone there has been trash. Also, the people who are actually getting paid to cover this fight, by the way, because what I heard was the Arabs from Abu Dhabi have paid to fly out media to this there. They've paid to fly media out. So these media ain't taking anything out of pocket. And all they can do is ask Bivol about Canelo.
Bro, it's crazy. Hold on. L Dub said casual streams. That's not my lane. Bro, listen.
That's why we didn't. That's why I didn't mention you.
Yeah, that's why you got a dub. The one thing when you get this type of talk, man, like just know we're in the minority. Like we're literally gonna get on here and actually break down film and all of that, man. Like
but another thing, L Dub, though, this is where I feel like you should almost. I'm not, almost, look through it because you're a very hardcore boxing fan. But to a certain degree, like us especially, we almost watch boxing with clear glass. We watch boxing very clear because of how close we are to the sport. But you can look to the left and look to the right of you and see everybody else with misty glass, This is like what we're in. We could be maybe 1 in 10 watching boxing from a clear view. I heard someone say the other day, and I had a real big debate the other day. I was like, boxing. They said boxing is at the worst stage it's ever been. Or
that's
it's
false.
Just boxing is terrible. And I'm like,
false.
So what are you comparing it to? Is that when I was growing up in the late 90s and in the early 2000s, it was so much better. And I was like, well, if you want to look at the last 3 years, no, in the history of the sport of boxing, we've never seen more undisputed champions crowned in the last 3 years, despite the fact that we've had COVID. Even in COVID, we've had the most undisputed fights in the history of the sport. And we've had the most undisputed champions in the history of the entire sport. So when we're talking about the best versus the best, there is not 1 year or let's say 2 years back to back that has shown me as much undisputed unifications in the same year or in the space of 3 years. Yeah. No year has done that. But we can't just be critical. We still have to be positive. You know, we saw a trilogy in Wilder vs. Fury, historical trilogy, which the best trilogy in the heavyweight division since was what Riddick Bowe, Evander Holyfield in 1994 or something. So we're talking about 20 years prior. You know, when are we going to actually start looking at the sport and actually taking pride in what we have?
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Charlo run. That is something that should be given his own fanfare. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, look at what Haney's done. Youngest undisputed. Like, we got so many positive things to balance the negative. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, we have so much positivity for boxing that can offset the negative. We didn't get the big fight, but there's a big fight right in front of you. Let's enjoy this one. Wait for the next one before the year is out. You know, I feel like we might get another big fight before the year is out. Something that, you know, last minute spring on us. But we got something cracking now. We got something lined up. We got a few good fights lined up before the year is out. So,
but you know, sorry to cut you off, Blunt. You know what it's like? Like, I hear so many people, they're complaining about not getting Errol Spence and Crawford. Right now, you're just pissing with your pants up. You ain't even pulled your pants down to piss yet because you're pissing all over yourself, because you know how contradictory that statement is. For you to say we're not getting Errol Spence and Crawford and complain, the reason why you're pissing all over yourself is because you're the same people that's not going to pay for the fight when it comes. Because let's keep it 100. If you were going to pay for it, and I mean a collective, if the casual fans were going to pay for it, and we knew the casual fans were going to pay for it, they wouldn't be debating over no guarantee. They'll be getting upfront money. But because they don't know whether the fans are going to invest in it, because you failed to invest in fights before, how many pay-per-view buys did Sean Porter and Crawford do? 175,000? How many pay-per-view gone?
I'm glad you said that, bro. And both what both of y'all said is absolute facts. And Shane, you nailed it on the head, man. Like, you don't know what the total revenue is going to be. You have no idea what the total revenue is going to be for Spence Crawford. Now, the reason why is because you said Bud and Porter did how much?
175.
Okay. Vlog, answer this for me, bro. Wilder versus Helenius, what did they do?
What, like 60, 70, something like that?
It's like 75,000. And the last time I checked, Wilder has millions of fans.
Millions of fans.
Millions. And they sold 75,000. I think the accurate number is 77,000. But that's for Wilder.
And then, bro, you know why? The trajectory of where you're going, I know where you're going. If I'm Al Heyman, I've put on 70 Wilder, you guys' favorite, and he's only sold 70,000. Nobody, and then I put on Ruiz versus Ortiz. That only done what, 35,000. I put on another pay-per-view. I think there was a pay-per-view before earlier this year, which only done 150,000. In a climate where I put out 4 pay-per-views and they failed to do 200,000, why on earth am I going to give these guys guarantees if you guys aren't paying to see them? What, Ugas and Spence on 150,000 or 200,000? let's keep it real. The fans aren't investing in these fighters. So why would I feel comfortable putting a fight on when I don't know if you're going to invest? You're not investing in the fighters.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
So when we break down these numbers, based on looking at Fury, Deontay Wilder situation, so is that really Fury fans that kind of made the last couple
It
fights
was
in
a
that
narrative that
trilogy?
people bought into, bro.
Facts. Narrative.
It was a narrative that ESPN and Top Rank sold. It was Brit versus America, white versus black. It was cheating. There was so many things that, because there were so many avenues that they can play on just to
They
promote this fight.
they promoted the hell out that fight, bro. They promoted the hell out that joint from every angle, And but Vlog, just to follow up on your question, it just goes to show that you just can't put two names up there by themselves and it's guaranteed to sell. You still have to do some old school promoting, whether it's gimmicky or not. You still
Good
have to
guy,
do some
bad
type.
guy,
Yeah,
that
you
sort of
still got
thing.
to
Yeah.
do. Yeah,
And let's keep it real. PBC aren't the best company when it comes to groundwork and promotion. Like, their press conferences 9 times out of 10 are a bit trash. They don't really do the best in terms of interacting with fans. Their fighters may do a one press event. I mean, Devin Haney, credit to Devin Haney, he's one of the few fighters that do the press events where people come to his gym and he does the Q&As. But not many American fighters do that. And when they do that, they do interviews with specific, like, PBC are very, very selective in how they promote their fights. So again, that doesn't help neither.
Let me add on to that before I get in the comment section. Like Jason Resort. Go ahead, Vlog.
I was gonna say this. Do you think PBC depends on the networks too much? They depend on Fox. They
And the
depend on
fight,
Showtime.
Yeah,
and the fighter's ability.
they remind me of like a wholesale place. Like they don't really do like really specific groundwork. They're kind of like a big
Like a
building and
Costco.
just like they're just a big they like a big ass BJ's, like just
Like,
big
I
ass
get what you mean,
Costco's.
bro.
You know what I
Like,
mean?
whereas if you go into like a match room, you got all the fancy flights. It's like I don't even know what you guys call in America, like a really, where they don't have the glitz and glamour. It's just
Yeah,
packaging.
right. Yeah, like
Like a
it's
buffet, nigga.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much, man. Like it's crazy, man. Like, and it's just it's just the last thing for L Dub. Like, we all are in the same places. We're in Facebook, we're in Twitter, we're on Instagram, right? Everybody's talking about the exact same thing. If I want to have a hardcore conversation, Dub, it's you, the people that on this panel, and maybe about like 7 or 8 other people that
I
I know
wouldn't
I can
even
have
say 7.
I
I wouldn't even say 7.
I got 7. I got 7 outside of Blunt, Shane, and Dub that I could go to and have a legit convo with them about this topic. About like Bivol, Zurdo, and all of that. Now, that's sad. That's sad. Like it really is at the end of the day. We don't have anyone to talk to because everyone is talking about Spence Crawford. It's like we get it, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, like we are human beings, like we are able to do 2 things at once. You know what I'm saying? You can talk Spence Bud, but you can still show love for this fight as well. And these
Exactly.
other fights.
By you focusing on something that's not happening, you're not focusing on something that's happening. And it's almost like you're erasing the word that you just written down at the same time. Because whilst you're upset about the fights that you're not getting and you're focusing on that, you're turning your attention away from a fight that we are getting and we should be endorsing. But your words are contradicting your actions.
Absolutely. Let me get in the comment section real quick, fellas. My boxing son in the building, man. Chris G in the building. What's going on, Chris? He said the only dudes who are complaining about the state of boxing are the same dudes who say Canelo and Mike Tyson are their favorite fighters because they saw some highlights. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can't argue with that at all, man. My guy, man, Mike Staten in the building, man. What's going on, bro? He said, what's going on, family? It's been a while. Trivia question for you, gentlemen. We're
Before I
ready.
get to that,
Go ahead.
what I do want to say was everybody's been, and in me personally, have been crapping and absolutely ridiculing Matchroom recently, and rightly so. But they've done a good job with this card this week. I'll say that.
Yeah, the card. I like the card. Like the card is I'm gonna show it in a second.
And you don't have to pay for it.
You ain't gotta pay for it.
It's not a pay-per-view or anything.
Right. It's like it's a great fight. All right, trivia question for the day, fellas, and this includes the chat. So this is something we're gonna be adding on to these podcasts, man. Give it a little different flavor. So Mike says the World Boxing Organization became an official sanction. WBO became an official sanctioning body in 1988. Who was crowned its first champion? Damn, that's a good question.
Now, why that's interesting? Because even though they were official sanctioning body, they wasn't recognized by the other champions until I think 2002.
Correct. That's a good question, bro.
I would have been able to say who was the first champion when they were recognized. Like once they became recognized as a legit.
Yeah, I got to Google that one. I was knee deep in the streets in '88. I ain't gonna lie.
Let me think of who.
I gotta. Hey, Mike, don't give us the answer yet. We need to, and obviously we're not googling anything. We on camera. So
I'm not googling.
I gotta think this. Yeah,
that was 10 years before I was born. So if I get it right, I get extra credit.
You do get extra credit. So again, I'm gonna read the question again. The WBO became an official sanctioning body in 1988. Who was crowned its first champion? Who was crowned its first champion?
I want to say I know it wasn't American, so I'm gonna lean that.
No, it wouldn't have been. It would have been a Frank Warren fighter. Let me give you a bit of heads up. The Frank Warren was one of the main reasons why the WBO became a registered, recognized. Recognized.
That's a fact.
So I'm thinking, but I could be incorrect. But I'm thinking Nigel Benn. Either Nigel Benn or Eubank, but I'm thinking Nigel Benn.
I'm gonna go with, and you gotta factor Warren in this situation too.
Could it have been an Australian dude or somebody? You know, they had some Aussies that had some recognizable names.
Yeah, Mike, we ain't ready yet. Hold on a second, Mike. We still trying to figure this out. So Shane said Nigel Benn.
I'm leaning with Shane.
I would lean that way.
I would lean that way.
Because
all the names I'm thinking of are coming up.
It could be Frank Bruno. It could be Frank Bruno.
It could be Bruno. Actually, you know what, fellas? Listen, for the sake, are we putting in separate answers?
Yeah,
we got to. Okay, so what you going with, Shane? You gotta pick one.
I'm gonna stick with my first one in Nigel Benn.
Vlog. Who you going with?
So Frank Warren, I don't think he was promoting too heavy in Australia, so I'm gonna stay away from that. I like the Frank Bruno situation because the heavyweight scene was developing internationally at the time. You know what I mean? It was really starting to kick up a little dust. So crowning a champ from over that way at that time would have been a good way to give some steam to the international heavyweight scene. So, and he was one of the first recognizable names as an American fan of boxing that I can remember. So I think crowning him as an initial champion and a heavyweight, you usually go top to bottom. You don't go lightweights up, lighter weights up. So I think
that's a fact. That's a good point.
So I'll go with Frank Bruno.
Shit. I'm going Eubank Senior, man. I like that as well.
I
I'll
like
go
that as
on
well.
you. So
Give
Mike,
us the
so
answer, Mike.
hey
Take us out of our misery. We
Mike,
might
so
be way off.
hold on,
We might be
Mike.
way off,
So
by the way.
hey Mike, so Shane said Nigel Ben, Blunt said Frank Bruno, and I said Eubanks Sr.
We
Mike,
might be way off.
drum roll, please. Mike Staten, we need the answer.
We might be way off. That's the
And
craziest
I
thing.
didn't Google. Just because I'm not on camera, I did not hit no Google. I'm an honest man.
Me neither. I'm just going off the fact that I know
Yeah,
I know
putting
Frank
two and two
Warren.
together.
That makes
Yeah,
it no
I knew
fun.
Frank Warren had a and he still does. He still has a massive relationship with WBO. If you guys don't know, I mean, Anthony Yarde's got 2 world title shots with the WBO, and he's fought nobody. That should show you how strong and how powerful
Facts.
I mean, if you go
Is
down the
any of his
ranking,
fighters a WBO champion? Any of his current guys?
so no, yeah, Zach Parker is one of his fighters. He's
Zach
fighting for the
Parker.
WBO. Joe Joyce is one of his fighters. He's fighting for the WBO. Who else is fighting for the WBO? Anthony Yarde is fighting for the WBO.
But nobody currently has a strap for him. So his closeness hasn't been
I mean, over the
let's
years,
say affected in the ring. Yeah, over the years, I'm sure, but it's not like he's been able to just keep placing his guys as a champion, quote unquote.
No, but
like,
sometimes they get title shots and lose. That's another
thing. Yeah, that's different.
Hold on. Oh, wait. Mike, we need that answer because we gotta get this. We got breaking news. Chris G said Matchroom the best in the business for activity for their fighters and pay overall. They might not be the best for your Odo.
No, that's
they
a fact.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yo, you could be 6-0 with Eddie Hearn. Like, you ready for this? You ready for this bull right here? Like, you know what I'm saying? So Mike, whenever you ready, please drop that answer for us. That's something we're gonna be doing. I don't know how many times a week Mike is gonna be dropping in. But we had
and I was gonna say, and a correction, Blunt. Sonny Edwards, WBO champion, and Frank Warren got him to WBO champion. So, but
man,
yeah, continue.
Don't mention that fucking goofball. Tell that dude to get his weight up.
Oh, hey Shane, him and Sonny Edwards is going back and forth on Twitter, bro.
Man,
why?
Man, because he a clown, bro. He talking like he getting a major bag. I'm like, dude, you like 108 pounds. You ain't getting no major bag in boxing like that, bro.
Damn,
you ain't came from money.
We was way off.
We were way off.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Mike Staten said on November 4th, 1988, Thomas the Hitman Hearns defeated James Kinchin, UD 12 rounds for the WBO Super Middleweight Championship title. Damn, we was way off. Sheesh.
But
you would think if Frank Warren actually got them to be, recognized, you figure one of his guys would get the first crack, though.
Yeah, I would have thought so. I would have thought so.
Yo, so let's get this out the way. And I wanted to, Chris G, and I'm glad you in here, bro, because I wanted to tell you that the Benavidez Uzcategui fight was canceled earlier today.
Yeah.
But here's my guy.
Why did it get canceled?
Media,
Why did it get canceled?
Plant versus Benavidez is done.
Why did it get canceled?
It got
Plant
versus
Benavidez is done.
Uzcategui,
no, y'all didn't hear what I just said. Y'all not listening.
I heard what you said, bro. I'm saying, why is it off?
But that's why it's canceled.
Plant ain't gonna do nothing, man.
Huh?
So Plant ain't gonna do nothing with Benavidez?
No. Well, no, I'm not saying that. They canceled the Uzcategui fight because Plant and Benavidez is done.
But bro, you can't legally get away with that. There would have to be something that they said to get out of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Hold on. But check this out though. They just did the same thing with Evanesian.
They didn't.
Yes, they did. He has a fight lined up in November. He had a fight lined up in November.
He did. He did.
Bro, a couple. Man.
That's buyout. That's called buyout. Because remember,
little step aside, Brad.
He was prepared to accept the little bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he was prepared to accept it. But since the fight ain't going down, he put the paperwork in.
You know, Uzcategui, they probably.
But what they're saying, what they put out was that they were getting a lot of flack about him getting a fight, so quick behind having a failed drug test. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't even been a whole year, has it?
I mean,
because he had a fight after Plant, and then that's when he got popped.
Yeah, dude, they only suspended for 6 months anyway. Yeah, they only suspended for 6 months anyway.
I thought it was a year.
Nah, hell no. They only doing 6 months. He said didn't see that coming. Didn't see this coming. I actually seen the I seen Caleb Plant put it up on his IG. I agree. I agree 100%.
How YSM now? Come on, YSM. Come on now.
No. I do hear where YSM is coming from. If I had to bet money on whether that fight was happening or not, I'd have said no. I'd have said hell no. I'd have said hell no, that ain't happening. But I think after that,
I would disagree with that based on the fact that you either got to do something with Benavidez or you got to send him across the street. So at this point in time,
that's why I agree.
That fight had to be next. There was you can't run back Darrell. Obviously, you can't keep pulling up middleweights to make 168. Him staying at 168, which is still a struggle. The fights have to make sense at 168.
I'll give you both.
I agree with Blunt.
I'll give both of y'all a little bit of pushback. If that was the case, the Uzcategui fight would have never got made. So this is something that just happened. I
get you, but I also
I get it. But if you're getting flack from the Uzcategui fight, you're getting flack from not making Spence, Crawford. You have to do something to show the public, the paying public, the supporting fans of boxing, that you're doing something as a major promotion, as one of the top 3 promotions, to embrace this super fight, tunnel that we get in boxing sometimes. Like, everybody just, want the super fight. This is the best fight you can get. No belt on the line, but obviously it would be some sort of mandatory type of result, some interim, something.
What this does accomplish is the winner of that fight. Canelo got to see the winner of this. He got to see the winner of this.
I mean, I don't disagree with that. I'm not going to disagree with that.
He got to see the winner of this. Because he can't say Benavidez ain't fought nobody, ain't did nothing.
No, that's not the real issue. That's not the real issue. The issue to me is, we know that they'll pay Canelo, but you telling me you'll bring Canelo back at more? It's going to be a back for sure, but you couldn't make Spence Crawford for less. It's the same thing as a promotion.
No,
Canelo's the difference.
But Jeff Blunt's actually right, and I'll tell you why Blunt's right. Because in my mind, you're running more of a loss. Because I'll tell you why. Yeah, if Canelo comes over to PBC, the first issue that they have to deal with the fact that it's gonna be a 1-fight deal. So
it's gonna cost them.
It's gonna cost you so much money. You're not gonna make any money on the end.
Can I tell y'all why both y'all wrong? I'm gonna tell you why both y'all wrong. Shane, and I'm surprised you said you agree with Blunt for this reason. Shane, we just sat up here 15 minutes ago and we said, how can you make a deal between Spence and Crawford when they don't support the fighters and there's no guaranteed number because nobody supports it, correct?
But this is
hold on, let me meet you in the middle of the street. Hold on, let me meet you in the middle of the street. Yeah, let me meet you in the middle of the street. I'm gonna meet you because this ain't a I just want to meet. I want to meet y'all in the middle of the street. This ain't I'm not trying to disagree with y'all. So the reason why I said the Canelo situation is easier for them to manage. Number one, even if they're losing money, Canelo's gonna bring a guaranteed crowd too. That's number one. Number two, it would be a 1-fight deal, but it's easier for them to negotiate a 1-fight deal with the cash cow when you got a big Brinks truck full of money.
No,
So
no,
it's easier for
no.
them to make that deal.
But
No, that
this is
doesn't
the
make any
issue.
sense.
This is
How
the
does it doesn't
issue
make sense?
because I don't think, and I think everybody can make this observation that Canelo's stock isn't the same stock, but his price is going to
It's
be
going
the
to be
same, if
more.
not more.
Yes,
So,
exactly,
So
Shane.
but
That
that's
you
the
took the
issue
words
that you
out of
have
my
right
mouth.
now.
bro,
Yes, bro.
the reason I made my statement is because everyone said that Canelo will never see Benavidez. Am I correct?
Yep.
There's no guarantee that he will though either.
No,
So,
but
but
hold
I
on,
get
follow.
what you're
Let me.
saying though. I get what you're saying. I get. So they're gonna pay for that if
But
we get that scenario developed.
but if Canelo ain't hold all the straps, then I will be on the same street with y'all. Okay, I'll be on the same street with y'all. The fact that he has all of the straps and all of the Canelo fans and all of that are saying, "Hey, Benavidez ain't get a shot because he hasn't done nothing." If he beats Plant, nobody can say anything about why Canelo was not taking a Benavidez fight. That's
I'm
the
gonna
only
tell.
point
I
I'm
No,
can
trying
say
to
this.
make.
that's
Hold
a
on.
fact.
I can rebut that right now. Canelo gonna say I already beat him. So what? Like that? You're not showing me anything.
Let me slap the tennis ball back your way. Outside of Plant, who else is there for him to beat at 68 to get Canelo in the ring?
No, nobody. But
Bro,
just
I'm
go through the
gonna
Nobody.
comments.
slap
Go
it
through the
back to
Nobody.
comments.
you. I'm gonna
Nobody.
slap it back to you. That's because initially the comment was word salad. It was built-in excuse without saying I don't want to fight that guy because he's too dangerous. Same way these dudes bring up Boot's name in these irrelevant terms of not being able to sell this, that, and the third. Like, bro, that's irrelevant to whether you could beat this dude or not. That's what boxing is about. I get it, the money is, but at a certain point, you're making money regardless
But
on who you're fighting.
but you didn't.
If
But
you're
you
that
didn't.
guy.
But you technically didn't answer the question. I said outside of Plant. I said who else can he beat for Canelo to be like he hasn't done nothing at 68?
It does, but that's my point. If he's doing something Canelo already done, it doesn't really make a difference as saying it's eye catching to Canelo. It's like it's you know what I mean. That's like you know what I mean. I get what you're saying. I understand your premise. There is no one else. That's why I said they were backed in the corner to make this fight. There's no one else. That being said, because there's no one else, us as fans, doesn't mean for Canelo there isn't anyone else.
So if you're Canelo, what are your options at 68 then?
Back to that European tour, baby. Get on that review, baby. That shit paying, baby. That shit cashing out over there.
I'm telling you who Canelo's gonna fight next.
We said it a couple months ago. We said this a couple months ago.
John Ryder,
who
right?
he was gonna fight. He's gonna fight John Ryder.
He's
gonna fight John
That's
Ryder.
what I said. Back on that European tour.
I think he's gonna fight because John Ryder's gonna lose to Zach Parker. I think he's gonna fight Eubank. I'm dead serious. I think he's gonna fight Eubank.
Possibility.
He does not want that smoke, bro.
But this is the thing.
I mean,
whether he takes John Ryder, whether he takes Eubank, neither one of them have done anything to warrant the shot.
Of course not.
So that's what I'm saying. Because
Eubank, I think he has because with the negativity.
Me and him get the same face.
No. I'm just saying you gotta look at it from a business perspective.
No, boxing perspective. Fuck the business. Boxing perspective. Who is he?
This Canelo, baby. He don't look at it from a boxing perspective. He looks at it from a business perspective. If you're looking for the easiest road, it's going to be the European tour. If you're looking for the best name that's going to give a little pop to the fight, it would probably be a Chris Eubank. But in my estimation, that's your biggest threat from that too, because he physically has the skills that could probably beat Canelo. The Canelo we see now.
The issue that Canelo has, I like Benavidez versus Plant, and I actually want to get through the comments as well. But I like Benavidez versus Plant. But here's where my issue is. I genuinely feel like Canelo's gonna use that excuse of I already beat Plant.
That's what I just said.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I
Oh,
genuinely
okay.
believe that because I feel like what Canelo has in his favor right now is, and Blunt, I swear, I remember you saying this earlier this year. When he lost to Bivol, he can always say he's still chasing Bivol. Like, if he doesn't fight Canelo, if he doesn't fight Benavidez, Canelo can say, well, I still got to chase Bivol. I'm looking for Bivol. And he'll get a pass on that because he's lost that fight.
He got to drop some straps then for me. He got to drop some
He will
straps.
drop
Man,
it. He don't mind dropping
hey,
it.
him
He'll
and
drop it.
Spence.
He can
him
do that.
and
He can
Spence.
do all that. He can do all that. But you
Him
can't
and
hold up a
Spence.
division. You cannot hold up a division if you're gonna do that. He needs to drop some straps then.
He
So
will
Can't
drop
unify and be doing
answer
all
me a
that.
question. Do you feel like Spence is holding up the division?
No,
Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes.
I don't think so. Why
If
you
they're
think he's
not
holding up the
making
division?
undisputed,
he
is that
fights
not hold up. By not making undisputed, isn't that quote unquote holding up the division?
But they're negotiating.
That's the
They're negotiating.
Okay.
They're both Spence and Crawford are holding up the division. Because if Spence fights Furman, then you're holding up the division. Because there's dudes who deserve that title shot more.
Yeah,
Hold on. When I hear holding
dudes right
up,
off top, Bud, Booth, and Virgil.
But when I hear holding up the division, I'm thinking there ain't been no activity in like 2 years, 2.5 years. That's not the case.
We talking about holding up the division, meaning the biggest fights, the best fights. That's what I mean.
But they, even though it was failed negotiations, they were in negotiations though.
But the division is.
If you want to tell me that they're willing to pay Canelo a minimum $60 million to fight Benavidez, because I guarantee Benavidez going to knock Plant the fuck out. Don't let that knockout of Darrell fool you about this dude, Caleb Plant. This dude is burnt toast, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro. All of that that vanilla chocolate shit and all of that. Don't let that shit fool you, man. He gonna get dog walked by this Phoenix boy. I'm telling you. That being said, though, it's a guaranteed $60 million to me to get Canelo over here. They ain't coming up off that money. I just don't see that. I think that's going to be an obstacle. Are they really willing to shoot that kind of bag for a one fight deal? This dude is not Floyd Mayweather.
Can I refresh your memory real quick?
Yeah.
We had people coming into this podcast saying that he should have took the PBC deal, right? How many fights was in that PBC deal and how much money was getting floated around?
300 million.
Yeah. So the bag ain't it.
Fight, though.
Yeah, but the bag ain't the issue when it comes down to Canelo.
Scenario there now.
But it's the fight scenario there. So Blunt, this is the difference though, Jeff. And I do really want to get through the comments. So everyone in the comments, stay there. Like, I think Al Heyman corrected himself. Al Heyman didn't give him a chance to have a one-fight deal. He had a one-fight deal because Plant was undisputed. If he offers anything to Benavidez, he's not giving Canelo a one-fight deal. He's giving Canelo a multi-fight deal. I can almost guarantee you that.
Yeah, he's not going to take it. He's not going to take it. Now, I would lean more towards that, and that's the reason why Benavidez won't get the fight than anything else. I'll lean on that. That sounds great. But I think that's most realistic. Because he already gave Canelo, he already spent $50 million. He gave Canelo 40.
There's no reimbursement neither.
Yeah, he gave Plant 10. Now they sold 850,000. They sold 850,000, right? That 850,000 doesn't equal up to 50 million. I don't know what the other business was and all that, but just off of that, it didn't equal up to $50 million. Now, with the whole Benavidez situation, Shane, I think you're 100% correct. He's going to be like, yo, you got to give me at least a 2-fight deal or we have no deal, which leaves Benavidez out in the cold. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like that's a sticky situation. But I think Canelo takes some time off and he goes right back on the European tour.
I will say this though.
He just had wrist surgery too.
I will say this: if Plant and Benavidez does good numbers, maybe they do put up 60 million.
That's the minimum to me. Maybe max or max deal could probably be like 70.
They was offering Canelo $55 million for Spence at a catch weight. So obviously they're willing to throw the bag. They're willing to throw the bag away for Canelo. They're willing. They did that over a year and a half ago. They offered that a year
but
and a half ago.
that was a different product that they anticipated being that ring too. Now you talking about a year and a half later, looking at the product from the Canelo fight, from the Plant fight, and then from the Bivol situation, turn around Triple G. This dude is not like
He's not that
marquee
dude
when it
anymore.
comes
He's
to
not that
output
dude.
now. You know what I'm
he's
saying?
not
So
that dude.
I don't
He's not
know
that
if the
same
bag
dude,
is still going to be a guaranteed bag, though. You might be asking for these prices, but they got to go back and say, well, the product on the shelf dusty, bro. You got dented cans up here and shit like that now. You want to hit top dollar?
But the thing is, I ain't seen him take a discount yet.
No, I'm not saying he is. I'm just telling you.
I know what you're saying.
This may be their arguments
I understand.
Go.
YSM, he said I saw a vlog send Edwards and Edwards going at it. That was funny as shit, bro. Mike Staten said, when you think WBO, you usually think English boxing. So those were great answers. Thanks for allowing me to participate. Nah, we need more of those, bro. We need more of those because we was definitely scratching our head on this one. Martha Rodriguez, what's up, baby? PGH Big Dog said, salute, fellas. Big shout out to you, bro. He said Plant versus Benavidez about damn time. Yeah, I'm excited about that, man. YSM, he said, I heard it was going to be Benavidez versus Morrell and Plant versus Charlo.
That
on the same card. It couldn't have been on the same card. That'd have been too much like right. Or Benavidez versus Andre. Never thought it would be Plant. I wasn't seeing. I didn't see that coming either, bro. I ain't going fraud. Like I understand what Blunt was saying, but just the fact that they put it together, though, I'm still kind of like, you know what I'm saying, like kind of shocked. Chris G.
Was he not forced to make a move though, bro? With all of the flack, aren't you kind of forced to make a power move to a certain extent?
Because Benavidez's name is not that big in the streets, I don't think it was that though. I don't think it was that.
But his name being linked to the Canelo situation, I think that's the draw. Everybody knows that's the one big name linked to Canelo. So mentioning Benavidez, people think Canelo. Oh, then you bring up Plant, people think Canelo. Yeah. Oh, big fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Chris G said, yeah, contracts are signed according to all parties. Before I get to Chris' next comment, I just want to let everybody know Chris G is going to empty out the 401k plan to go to this fight, bro. Like David Benavidez is Chris G's favorite fighter, and he's going to be front row. Matter of fact, I should send you out there with a camera. get some footage for the show. Chris G, my guy, getting some shine once again. Caleb Plant looked good. He did not look like a guy who got stopped. He's sitting on the punches now. I like this, despite the BS that went on with that bet and all that. Like Plant he looked good. Like that was a typical bread man type. You know, if he had to pick how his guys fight, I would say that's it.
What does that have to do with his chin?
What does that have to do with his chin?
Yes.
Nothing.
Thank you. You hit the
but he's only been hurt one time though. He's only been hurt one time though.
Okay, this is Benavidez, man.
But you said, bro, you said his chin like he has chin issues, like he's had sustained chin issues. He hasn't.
Well, again, if you in there,
yo, he can't stand Plant now, yo. He can't stand Plant.
I hate that wigger shit, bro. I don't like that wigger shit. I'm not a fan of that shit, bro. Stay in your lane. Don't come on my side of the street.
YSM said Eubank is a dangerous fight. Yeah, it's a dangerous fight for Canelo for sure. Ghost in the building said my boy Morrell about to make a statement.
Good fight.
I like Morrell, man. Good fighter, man. Good fighter. He said Benavidez need to stop ducking Andre.
He's not ducking Andre.
Nah, we love Andre, bro, but he's not ducking
Demetrius Andrade is just one of the most unluckiest fighters in history, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
he's one of the most unluckiest fighters, bro.
Yo, didn't he sign with Black Prime?
I don't know.
Didn't he sign with Black Prime?
I mean, why would
you told me? That's the name I brought up.
if he did, it's a disappointment because he's gone from one obscure new network to another obscure new network. Like the truth is, bro, I'm just disappointed we didn't get Munguia versus Andrade. That's the fight I wanted. Munguia versus Andrade.
Yeah, that's the fight I want too. Even now, that's the one I want. Chris G.
No, I think Toriano deserves a second shot at Munguia.
Toriano's my guy, but I ain't going that far, man.
Come on, bro. That was a fluke uppercut, bro. It wasn't like he wobbled him and all
No,
that.
that's
He just split his
I feel
Come
you,
on, bro.
I don't think it's enough for me to give him another shot, though. And it's funny because
he was winning. He was winning every round. What is come on, Jeff? Come on. He was backing this man up for 4 straight rounds. He caught a fluke uppercut. They stopped the fight. How is that not worthy of a rematch? Maybe the draw.
Maybe if it was 9 or 10 rounds, maybe I'll give it to you, but not 4. And he stopped him though. So it's not like it was like a no contest type thing. But
he stopped the fight because of face damage
caused by what? They stopped the fight. By
a single punch.
I put that on the line of a headbutt, bro.
bro.
I get what you're saying though, because Toriano Johnson was unlucky because that punch landed 20 times out of 20. It doesn't cause that damage.
It almost looked like he got hit by the shot and he bit his lip all at the same time.
Yeah,
that's what it looked like. Toriano's a family of the channel, man. Big shout out to Toriano. You know what I'm saying? But if he could get the opportunity, like definitely. But that was something that if that was gonna happen, they would have had to do that like within like 6 months of that fight ending. Like you got to strike while the iron.
I know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I feel you. Ghost said Chris G. Nabi said them just my peoples, and I know as a fact we wanted that. Okay.
Oh, he knows Andrade.
Do you know Andrade? You know Andrade?
He's speaking like he does.
Bro, if you do, tell him to come on the show, man. Like we've been trying to hunt him down for a minute. He said, you can call me a hater, but Andre, my folks, no, we fuck with Andre. Like we fuck with Andre heavy. He said, and he approached PBC directly for it. Samson said no. Samson admitted it on Twitter Spaces a week ago too. Bro, listen, this is the thing. Like we've been riding for Andre for years, man. For years. Like if there's anybody in the sport we want to see get an opportunity, a big opportunity, it's Andre. So I know you just tuned in with us, but like we're Andre fans, like for sure. Like it's like the black cat is in the room when he, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like that's all we saying. My guy T Finney in the building, man. Salute Chris G. He said Wigger. Yeah. That's that blunt talk that only blunt talks. He says so. Samson didn't say no to the fight just now.
That's not how fights are made, though, bro. Like I get what you're saying. In boxing, it's never as black and white as that. Like you're someone who's obviously looking at it from an Andrade perspective. But if Benavidez is looking at it like, well, I'm about to make a plant fight, then of course I'm going to say no to that fight. You know, there's been many times, I can give you so many examples where you just got, if you're ducking, then you're going to be ducking everyone at every time because a successful fighter always has more than one fight on the table. So if I say yes to Jeff, but say no to Blunt, then I'm ducking Blunt. If I say yes to Blunt and I'm ducking, and I say no to Jeff, then I'm ducking Jeff. When you're a successful fighter at a certain level, you're going to have multiple fights available for you. If not, then you really have to look at the team that you're around. So maybe his manager did say no or did turn the fight down, but you can't look at it just like that.
Ghost, I don't know. I'm gonna read this, but we might have to wrap after the show, bro. You can tap in with us on, I don't know if you're on IG, Facebook, Twitter, but I think we need to wrap. He said he signed to Salida. Didn't know that.
That's disappointing.
Now Toledo's connected with PBC, but I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna keep reading. He said he did not sign a Black Prime. Black Prime approached him, but nothing was ever final. Demetrius' promoter is Salida, and they tried to make the Benavidez fight. I'm gonna read. He said, "Y'all can't tell me the man not ducking when his promoter Sanson in public telling everyone Demetrius approached PBC to make that fight for December 2022 or January 2023, and they said no, that's a duck." Um, I mean, if he
Not that's not necessarily, bro, because your boy ain't got no belts. You see what I'm saying? So if you're Benavidez and your only road is towards that undisputed situation at 168, taking a Andre fight is like a precursor to you getting a belt. Like you take that fight after you win the belts. Like you know what I mean? You gonna have
well, technically
like
nobody has belts at 168. If you want to look at it
no,
And
like
I'm
that.
saying if you're Benavidez, are you focused on the on getting this Canelo situation and it, like you one fight away or whatever? And I don't think that fight is Andre. You know what I mean?
and what I want to ask is, if Salita was promoting that show, what was it on? Like, what would it have been on Showtime?
Because I know Salida has a
He
connection
doesn't,
with PBC. I
but he
do
doesn't
know
have a
that.
broadcasting deal.
No, he doesn't. But that's why anybody Salida usually gets on the PBC card. Like they're like Salida and PBC are they're connected. So
To a
um
certain degree, but then they got fighters
to
like
a certain
Clarissa
extent.
Shields, who
Yeah, but they got like 3 or 4, you know what I'm saying, like B level promotions that they pick and
Yeah,
choose.
yeah, yeah. Like it's kind of like King's promotions. Like King's, like usually King's promotions people like usually they'll be on a PBC card. Obviously, Alicia Baumgartner was on. God damn, she fine, boy. I'm sorry, I just went into a tangent. I'm sorry. But yeah, man, she done threw off my whole train of thought, man. Let me get to this next comment, bro. Ghosty said yes, whole team Andre, then my people. No, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up. He said I'm down to bring them on here if y'all got Benavidez camp on and we can see what's up on air. Bro, I wish we could. I would jump on that in a heartbeat, bro. I'm trying to think. Do I know anybody in Benavidez camp so we can make that happen? That would be
What's the
legendary.
name? Reach out
Ooh.
to Emily Boxer. She part of that promotion team that he deal with because they from out here in the valley. So I'm supposed to
Oh
reach out
well,
to her to
you sound
get
like
the
you just gave yourself
Ramos.
an assignment.
Nah, I ain't got the time, bro. You know my no.
All
I'm
right, well
being
send me the contact so I can do it.
yeah.
I will try
What's
to
the
make
name?
that happen.
L-Dub linked me with her. You know what I mean? Because I guess you know her from the fight scene and
Oh,
whatnot.
okay.
So
All right. No, no,
yeah.
no,
So
bro,
no.
I just had
big
a
shout out to
strange case
L-Dub.
of
You know what I
deja
mean?
vu. Crazy.
What you said?
That's had just a strange case of deja vu.
Deja vu. Hold on. Said bro Benavidez said his name. Plant had a fight booked at the time and was not free. Demetrius reached to him personally 4 times. Jose admitted it himself. His father and
I
his
I
manager said
I
no.
I, I personally don't know.
I'm not going to listen. I'm not gonna argue with that at all. I mean, if that's what happened, that's what happened. But it kind of goes back to what we were saying about Andre for some reason, and it's unfortunate whenever it's time for him to get that marquee fight done, it just doesn't get done for whatever reason, whether it's his fault or it's not his fault. We would love to see that fight. Like we would love to see that fight. I
Do
just
you,
want to see Andre get his opportunity. Like I just
can I ask you a question? Do you feel like Boots is in that Andre realm
Not
right
yet.
now?
Not
not
yet.
yet. Not
But
yet.
he's
He
on the
will
right
be.
path.
30, I
He
mean,
will
30
be.
fights in. 30
He will
fights
be.
in, bro.
No,
Come
but
on now.
no,
Like,
but it's 30 fights in. But let's keep it real. He's only really been like on the champions radar for about a year and a half,
Yeah.
2 years maybe.
I would say maybe even less than that if you want to get picky. And when you say championship radar, you might even be talking maybe a year or a little over a year.
When did he fight Lipinets?
At what point has I'm just asking a question. Like we've been in the fast track era for a minute. Like at least I'd say 5 years, 6 years. So at what point in time had he not been on the radar at the knockout streak and ratio he been on? Regardless,
it's more the opponent you fight. It's more about the opponents you fight. Like when he fought Lipinets, I would say that's when he became on that championship radar.
I'll take it a step
about
further.
3 years ago, correct?
I'd say about 2 years ago.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna take it one step further. It's with Boots is a little beyond the opponents, and it's a little beyond, what Blunt said. People don't know, like, Boots actually had a good amount of legal issues in terms of who was actually controlling his career.
Yeah, we did. I remember y'all brought that up.
Yeah, so that's something. When you have that going on, it's really hard for a network to really take you under their wing and be like, yo, you're going to be our main guy for the foreseeable future. He just got that cleared up
like the locks.
2 years ago. It's kind of like the locks before they went to Rough Riders. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what I would pinpoint the issue to. If he didn't have those issues,
it makes sense.
I think Showtime would have took him under the wing probably about like 3 years ago. I think he'd have took him under the wing.
But at this point, now we brought this up earlier. At this point, well, me and you speaking about it,
right?
Do you think it's interesting that Morrell gets a Showtime main card and Boots hasn't gotten one yet? Even at this point,
I think
who's Morrell fighting?
I can show you the name. I can't pronounce that shit. Actually, for timestamp purposes, I would love for Blunt to try to say this one. Hold on.
I will. I'll fuck it up real quick.
Hold on. Let me show the actual. Let me show the act, because I have no clue. Big shout out to Joseph Gwilt too. Like,
shout out Conrad Boxing. What's up, my bro? What's going on with you?
So let me. Can y'all see
his name at? Yeah, but it's.
So I got you. So,
you gotta enlarge.
It's right here. Okay. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Can y'all see it?
Yeah, we can see it, but it's little. You can't.
Yeah, and I can't. Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, there you go.
Zoom at.
It's over there somewhere in the corner or something. Ain't
under November the 5th. Under November the 5th.
Yes, under November the 5th. Yeah.
Where dude name at? That's Gallimore. Urbus Newly.
I'm not even getting. That's not bad, bro. That's not bad. I'm not even gonna.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How Morrell got a headline show before Boots.
Yeah,
and then the rest of that card is terrible. I mean, Jason Rosario.
That's the problem. Bro, PBC are in problem. If that's what they're doing as a headline,
that's bringing Rosario back, bro.
Bro, I need for them to check his stomach out, bro.
Shut your ass up.
I need for them to do extensive x-rays on his stomach, bro.
That man was convulsing out that motherfucker, bro.
He got Charlo hit him with the Pillsbury Doughboy jab, and he just went into convulsions and shit. Like, he was shaking. Who's the dude off the Chappelle show that was doing the shake? Damn, I forgot his name. He was just on the ground like this.
I know you're talking about.
Hold on. Was it Ashy Larry? Was it Ashy Larry that was doing the shake? He was like,
yeah, that was Ashy Larry.
That was Ashy Larry.
Donnell Rollins. Yeah. That was him.
Man, let me stop clown and get back in this comment section, man. Ghost said Lemieux didn't have a belt. Plant don't got a belt. Demetrius undefeated 2-weight champ. It would have been PBC. Okay, with Salida. Okay, I got you. Now, Ghost, I'm a slap the tennis ball back your way. because he signed with Salida, but not directly with PBC, do you think that might have been a reason why they said no? Because they had other options ahead of Andre? Think about that for a second and give me something, bro. He said, for sure, bro, it's sad, but the business is what it is. And for some reason, folks don't want to take that fight. But Demetrius in camp right now. He looking for Plant Benavidez or whoever he is the smoke. Ghost, is he gonna go to that fight? Is he gonna go to Benavidez and Plant? Because I would like for him to go. And if he is gonna go, I need for him to get me
I need
Shane
to ask
blog a ticket so we can get in there.
I got a real question.
we want in, bro. We want in.
I got a real question. If he inside with the crew like that,
yeah,
why didn't they not take that Zach Parker fight? Like, I mean,
or the Janabek fight.
Good question. Good question.
Janabek, I makes sense because Janabek is 160.
Yeah,
going for the.
Come back. Oh, hold on. Hey, repeat your question. Repeat it again.
Why they didn't take the Zach Parker fight at 168 for a WBO world title?
But I think
Janabek fight.
Janabek, I can see. Wait, I can see that.
Wait, how much did he get paid? How much is he getting offered for the Zach Parker?
Hold on. No, we want Ghost to answer that. We want Ghost to answer.
We know why we think he.
Yeah, we know why we think. I want to hear from Ghost though. I want to hear it from Ghost stuff. He said Morrell is fighting ranked undefeated 16-0 Ados, who is top 5 ranked, a scary fighter. He said a former Kazakh Olympian. No, I heard he's a real good fighter. I have not seen him on tape yet. After Morrell whoops Ados, in terms of danger and level of opposition, Morrell in 8 fights would have fought the hardest challenge out of all these dudes at 168 today. Now I'm not gonna lie, I gotta watch some fight on Ados. I gotta watch some film because you hear a lot of dudes is nice, and I gotta watch some film. We do film over here, you know what I'm saying? So we definitely.
When are we gonna start doing today's film?
Bro, we done got thrown off track, bro. We done got thrown off track. I got it queued up. So we definitely gonna get into that. Let me get through these last couple. T Finney, he said, I want to see how J-Rock, Rosario, and Gallimore all do. J-Rock is fighting as well, but he's not on. I think he's on that card, but he's not. It doesn't show on BoxRec though. Ghost.
He ain't on the televised version.
He may not be on the televised version. He may be the main event on the 9th on the undercard. Morrell got a headline show because the Armory signed him. He's selling tickets and is a world champ. He became a champ against an undefeated fighter in his 3rd pro fight. He doing numbers. So you're saying he got a direct deal with the Armory. All right. Fair enough. Chris G said, why did Andre duck Janabek? We just asked Ghost that. Hold on. He said, didn't take Parker because of 2 things. One, Frank tried to say purse was 250 between 2. And 2, Benavidez was a serious option at the time. It was looking like that was next. So he dropped Parker.
Well, and y'all keep saying Janabek. So y'all basically saying Andre can fight in either division?
He was 160 champion though.
Yeah, he was 160 champion.
But his last fight was at 160. And if they're keeping it 100, he dropped that belt.
I do believe he mentioned weight.
Yeah,
I'm not disputing that point.
Hold on. So Ghost is Andre. Let me ask this: is Andre floating between 60 and 68, depending on the opportunity that he gets, or is he going to be locked in at either weight? Is he floating between 160 and 168, depending on the opportunity? Let me ask you that. And Ghost, last thing before we get into what we was supposed to get in here for. I noticed I think this might be your first time being on here, bro. But I think just judging off of how we talking, we know what the hell we talking about. So we going when you come in and you start asking questions and making comments, things like that, we're gonna throw the tennis ball back your way. You know what I'm saying? With questions and things like that. Like this is what we do. Like period. But we need to actually get into some film.
Hey, bro,
Bivol.
I gotta slide out this side door, bro. You know I got to
Okay.
go to work. So,
Okay.
man, y'all hold it down. I'm gonna check y'all out on the
All right.
replay. Do some good work, man, because I need that homework. I might put
Got
a
you.
prop bet on the underdog if I get some proper information.
All right, you got it, bro.
All right,
It's Boxing
appreciate
First
y'all.
Vlog.
Good to
All right,
see you,
bro.
Shane.
Love, bro.
Last comment for Ghost. He said he at 168 pounds next, no ifs or buts. Only time it's not happening is if Charlo wants smoke because he wanted that for 7 years. It just seemed Ghost. It just seemed like everything leads back to the PBC fighter. So with I guess my question would be if that's the case, and basically his top 4 or 5 options are all PBC. Was there an opportunity for him to sign with PBC directly, or was that not the case and he had to take a Salida Promotions type deal? And just to show you, we on the inside of things. My man Cruz Hitman Stewart is signed with Salida. You know what I mean? So we're very familiar with Salida Promotions. And of course, Boots has been on Salida Promotions cards, which is linked to PBC. So like, we definitely tapped in. It's just it seemed like you said you're in his camp or you're really close with him. So whenever we get a chance to talk to someone that's close to somebody's camp, we like to keep the lines of communication open, especially with Andre, because there'd be so many questions about Andre that we just don't know what's real and what's not. So if you can, if you can, I don't know if you can drop an Instagram or a Twitter or something. We would love to, Shane and I would love to keep in contact with you in regards to Andre, because he's one of our favorite fighters. Let's keep it a bean. He's one of our favorite fighters, and we wish he didn't have such bad luck in terms of getting the premier fight. You know what I mean? He said Salida was the best option he had after leaving the zone. He did discuss some things with PBC directly, and he's still open to discuss. He just looking for an opportunity wherever it comes from. So, with that being said, if PBC came to him and said, yo, like just sign on with us, even though he signed with Salida, would that be a problem? Like, with Salida just I know Salida works with PBC, but technically he's under Salida. So if PBC came in and said, "Hey, Andre, sign this multi-fight deal directly with PBC," like would it be just would Salida just had no problem with that and just hand the ball off, or like how would that, in your opinion, how would that go? But without further ado, I actually wanted to show Shane I wanted to show he said what Salida it'll be all right. I figured because they work together. But I actually want to show, it was kind of like a highlight package, Shane, of Bivol, and they were talking about his jab and everything, and I want to get the right it's called Hands of God YouTube channel.
The
Big shout out to them.
HANDZA. H
Huh?
HANDZA, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I know about that channel. Good channel.
Yeah. So we're gonna actually show um that footage just to give guys an idea of what Bivol brings to the table, because for some reason Bivol still is not like a household. You figure you beat Canelo, you a household name, but it's a lot of people that don't, you know, haven't seen Bivol outside of that. So we're gonna definitely dive into that really quick. Let me show this. I'll keep the video light because we already an hour 23 minutes in, man. I blame YSM for throwing us off track, but it's cool though. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Can you see the screen, Shane?
Yeah.
All right. Is it full screen now? Shane, it look like a full screen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So before I get started with this, I gotta put hold on. I gotta put this down the bottom. I gotta put this disclaimer in, man. For commentary only, which is under the Fair Use Act. I already got one strike. I don't need another one. So we're gonna leave that right there, and we're gonna get the cooking. And Shane, I guess just I'm gonna play this along. Just kind of, it's no sound, but just kind of walk me through what you saying, bro. And this is mainly a video on a jab. His judging the distance is just
it's that. So if you look, the dude's always bouncing on his feet, but it's the judgment of distance. If you look, he's just bouncing left, from right foot to left foot, always on the balls of his feet, and again just judging distance so fantastically. You rarely see him overextend. You rarely see him fall short on punches.
Bro, let me pause it real quick. You know the great thing about Bivol, yo, you figure with all that bouncing, right? He don't actually plant his feet and sit down. The fact that he does all of this bouncing and he actually within a microsecond he gets to plant his feet and he gets max leverage on it, and then he gets right back to the bouncing. You really, to be honest with you, I know they're two different type of fighters, but the main person that comes to my brain that used to do that was Roy. Roy used to do a lot of like bouncing, and he used to stop his feet and get max torque on them shots and get right back to it. Now this, and I'm talking Roy against someone that he respected, not against someone that he knew he was going to run through, because he was just walking right through him. But you look at them fights, you know, the Tonys, the Bernards, you know what I'm saying? Those fights, he did a lot of not Roy didn't bounce as much as Bivol, but just that, and you figure Bivol, he doesn't seem super athletic, but everything is just so textbook. His feet is constantly doing this. It's constantly doing
synchronized.
It's synchronized. It's almost like it's like a dancer. It's like a dancer. Like it's crazy, but I think people don't really see that. You know,
and this is going to be the biggest problem with Zurdo Ramirez, because Zurdo Ramirez fights with his feet firmly on the floor. Look at this fight, and then I'm pretty sure Jeff's got some Zurdo footage. If not,
I definitely have some Zurdo footage.
If he's got, you're gonna see the foot, how majority of his work is coming with his feet completely still, whereas Bivol's work is coming with him completely moving. Whether it's moving him back and forward or left or right, he's always moving.
This is gonna make or break the fight. This is gonna make or break the fight. And this video is it's 4 minutes long. I'm gonna continue.
He needs to find a way to get Bivol from stopping to move, because the longer Bivol can move in that fight, the harder it is.
And the thing is, and it's not like Bivol's moving and he's out of the pocket. Like, he's still in range. Like, it's amazing how I'm gonna run the rest of this footage, but it's amazing. I just want y'all to listen to what Shane said and listen to what I'm saying as you're watching the footage, and you're gonna see what we're talking about. Ghost, we'll get this in real quick. Ghost said he was looking to sign a multi-fight with this Benavidez situation. Fair enough, bro. Ghost, please drop your like some type of social media so we continue to talk about this. So we're gonna continue to run it. We're gonna run it now, Shane.
Now, the issue that Bivol will have against Zurdo is that he is fighting a southpaw.
Right.
So fighting a southpaw, the jab is harder to land. Zurdo doesn't do the southpaw thing with his feet, but he's still a southpaw nonetheless.
Yeah.
Now, why that was so amazing was because he was still in range when he's throwing his shots. You know, he's always in range. His opponent might miss. Look, that's a fantastic shot.
Yeah, I got to pause. Hold on. I don't think y'all understand what y'all watching. Did y'all see the shot where he made it look like a jab and he turned it into a hook like
Yeah,
midway? Bro,
literally.
that's
Just because he saw the dude close the high guard. So
yeah,
he
he
then
closed the high
decided to
guard. So
just
it's
bring it around the
literally
high guard.
right. So, and it's kind of, to be honest with you, it's kind of similar to what Ugas was doing to Pacquiao. He was changing his jab to a hook based off of what kind of defense Pacquiao was given. But you can get away with that when you have, your opponent's punch count down a little bit.
That hook is gonna be vital, Jeff. And why is that hook gonna be vital against Zurdo?
Number one, because Zurdo ain't going nowhere. He's gonna be right there. He's gonna be
And
right
there's
there.
another reason is why as
And
well.
the second reason for me, Zurdo likes to throw in 3s and 4s. When you're throwing that check hook like that, that stops all that action. It stops all that action.
Zurdo's southpaw. So I'm
Right.
centering every time when I throw that slap.
Yeah. If Bivol can keep his foot on the outside and he's throwing that hook, Zurdo in for a long night, bro. He in for a long night, because all that's gonna happen is Bivol is gonna land his 2s and 3s, and Zurdo is gonna have to reset. You know what I'm saying? Like this, if Bivol's on his game, I'm gonna run the rest of this, and then we can get the Zurdo. All right, we won't run it. He even throws a jab as a counter.
Yeah, that's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, like he throws a jab as a counter. Bro, you can't, bro. It's his greatest attribute. His judging of distance is unmatched. Look at
that. Bro, people always ask me why is Bivol my favorite. Like, I have to say this. Like, people will say, and Jeff will know, but anyone who knows me will say, "Oh, the only reason why I like Bivol is because of the Canelo fight." I've been a Bivol fan for years.
We've been Bivol fans for a minute.
Can you put a quick pause on this?
Yeah.
Me and Jeff first started speaking from a Bivol fight. And I don't even know if Jeff remembers this. I will never forget this, yeah? Jeff done a video, and Jeff used to do these streaks. And every fight, he would do streaks. He have a winning streak, and he had a very good winning streak. It's like 23-1 or something, or 23-0 or something like that. And I remember, this is still on Jeff's channel. Jeff done a video, Sullivan Barrera versus Bivol. And me and Jeff was both very, very, very worried. Like, this is the first time I've ever watched a Jeff video. Sullivan Barrera versus Bivol, when Jeff done his pre-fight prediction for that fight. And me and Jeff both thought that Sullivan Barrera was going to catch Bivol off guard, and it was going to be a tough fight for Bivol. And then I remember me and Jeff talking. Me and Jeff, I remember watching Jeff's video, and Jeff said, Bivol made a believer out of me. And in that fight, Bivol made a believer out of me. In that fight, he made a believer out of me. I was a believer after that fight.
The start of the Jeff and Shane connection actually came from that fight. It actually came from that fight, because that fight was broken down, and it was crazy because that was probably my first loss in terms of a prediction. And the reason I remember that so vividly is because my prediction was the exact opposite of what happened. I thought Sullivan Barrera was going to get Bivol up out of there in the 12th, and Bivol got him up out of there in the 12th.
I will never forget it, because I was watching all of these YouTube channels. And I used to watch so many channels, and I've come across Blunt's Jeff's channel, and these times I didn't care about how many views and subscribers you had. And I was watching Jeff's channel, and I was watching, and I saw the fight exactly how Jeff saw it, in the sense that I thought the fight was going to go this way, everything. And then after the fight, Jeff said the exact same thing I said. These times I did not know who he was. And I was like, I have to keep watching this dude, because he made a believer out of me after that fight.
Yeah,
and Jeff stole my words, even though I didn't know him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, so that's kind of why we're showing the video now. We're kind of getting back to what we used to do pre-camera. You know what I'm saying? So Shane and I used to do this all the time. Like, without, we used to be like on the phone talking like this for
Right.
hours in terms of just specific fights and fighters and things like that. So if anybody's saying that Shane wasn't a Bivol fan until the Canelo fight, we got the tapes. It says otherwise. You know what I'm saying? But let's run the rest of this real quick so we can get to the Zurdo footage. But but this is, bro, and it's like you don't know what's look at that. Come on, man. Everything up and down, straight down the middle. Yeah, he's tearing Canelo up the middle. And then he gets full extension on the shot.
This is where it is. Look here. Jeff, go back 5 seconds or 10 seconds. Go back 10 seconds. This is where I say there's no fighter in the sport that can do what he's done. Anybody there, Joe Smith will back him up against the ropes. He does. Yeah. His back does not touch the ropes once, despite the fact that he's almost backed up into a corner. He just constantly keeps you at the end of his shots. And that's what Jeff's talking about, throwing the jab as a counter punch.
He just did that against Richards. Did you just see him just move Canelo back because he's saying he was getting ready to crank up a hook? Bro, and then you see every time he throws a jab, where's his right hand, Shane? Right at his chin.
Right at his chin.
That jab is lethal.
That the right hand's always home, and then just talking about that check left that goes round, and the right hand's there again, and he's just bouncing. Bro, it's as textbook as you get.
It's textbook, bro. If you had to show a kid how to fight textbook, just the fundamentals, this is the guy that you get. This is the film that you get.
Look how he just pivots I
gotta rewind that, Shane. I gotta rewind that. We gotta see that again. That pivot was crazy.
He just backs Pascal back into the corner. Here, watch this. Backs Pascal right back into the corner. Now who's against the ropes? And all he does is throw a jab.
Yeah, bro. All of these highlights, he's in the middle of the ring, bro. He's in the middle of the ring.
And that's the problem, because as long as that fight stays in the middle of the ring, Zurdo's losing. Because Jesse Hart was tinging off on Zurdo in the middle of the ring. It's when he got to the ropes, that's when Zurdo started to tee off.
His transition from
defense to offense.
It's insane. It's insane, bro. Like it's insane, man. Like I don't think y'all understood what y'all just watched. Like and usually, of course, highlights is to make the guy look good, but he's actually that good.
Bro, it's like, for me, I'm a boxing fan. You know, everybody's got their thing in life. Some people love certain type of music. Some people, you know, they love movies and action and stuff like that. I'm a boxing fan. So me seeing someone like Bivol was like seeing Picasso write a painting, or William Shakespeare write a poem. You see my point? Like for me, it's just as textbook as it gets.
It's poetry in motion, bro. It's poetry in motion. That's why. But see, this is why we laugh around with like YSM. That's our guy. But I hope YSM seeing this, because I might. YSM was like, yo, that's a plain hoagie. That's a plain hoagie. That video was why he's not a plain hoagie. Like I understand, but it's so much. It's so much. The reason
why you can say he's a plain hoagie is because he does the basics perfectly.
Yeah,
perfectly.
He's the Tim Duncan of boxing. Like he's all basics, but his basics are so great. You know what I mean? So we definitely understand what he's saying. Hold on. Michael Johnson, big shout out to my bro. He said, damn, Shane on the couch again. Asked him, do he got gout in his legs like Silver? Mike, listen, man. Michael Johnson shows so much support, bro. Just off the strength, man. Like Like, fam, for real, man. And it's just, even when you listen to him speak in his videos, it's just raw. You know what I mean? It's just raw. It's no gimmicks, no none of that, man. Big shout out to Michael Johnson. We was joking around about that gout in the last show. L Dub said, Shane, what's going on with Lawrence Okoli?
So, a bad case of events. So basically, as the last thing we heard from Lawrence Okoli was Sky Sports offered him a deal for Okoli versus Reactor, which I think would be an absolute amazing fight. Reactor versus Lawrence Okoli, all British.
That's a legendary fight.
That's an amazing fight.
Yeah.
Me and Jeff went live for Reactor's last fight as well.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
What ended up happening with Lawrence Okoli was he was at Reactors with Sky and boxer Adam Smith and stuff, and Lawrence Okoli still with Eddie Hearn. But then Eddie Hearn said Lawrence Okoli still has one fight left on his contract, and Lawrence Okoli was trying to leave, and then it ended up being a bad case of events where they just wasn't seeing eye to eye, and then Lawrence Okoli made some racial statements about Eddie Hearn being a slave master, and once he said that, well, Eddie Hearn is not going to get you paid, so he's just going to keep you on a shelf until that contract expires. You know, that's how boxing goes. You've seen that so many times. Zurdo Ramirez, who's fighting this week, that happened to him with Top Rank. You know, they kept him on the bench for 2 years until his contract expires, you know, and it's probably going to be the same thing with Okoli.
Yeah, what was the name of that kid that was I think he was going through some mental stuff, but he was saying a lot of things about Eddie Hearn. And
you're talking about Scott Fitzgerald.
No, damn. I wasn't even talking about him. Black kid. He just fought
O'Hara Davis.
No, not even him. He fought at damn, he's with Kevin Cunningham. He with Kevin Cunningham. Oh my God, what's his name? He was snapping, bro, and we was like, yo, he was having like some mental issues.
Oh, Ammo Williams.
Ammo said a lot of things about Eddie Hearn, but I think they can get that cleaned up. But obviously something happened with Ammo and Eddie Hearn for Eddie Hearn to put him back on those cards. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully they can get that cleaned up.
When Eddie Hearn,
that's crazy. You mentioned 3 names that was straight facts, and that's who I was talking about.
Literally, but when Eddie Hearn blacklists you, no offense to Scott Fitzgerald, but we can clearly have a look at Scott Fitzgerald. Last time people saw him, he was literally living on the streets, like literally living on the streets. From being a headline act with Eddie Hearn, he was literally living on the streets. So I think people need to actually take a look at the fact that, you know, these dudes do have a certain amount of power in the sport. Al Heyman's the same. You know, who was that dude who talked negative about Al Heyman? You know, what was that dude's name again? That Mexican dude.
Yeah, damn, I forgot his name. But it was somebody that spoke negative about Heyman. He hasn't been in the ring since. He has not been in the ring since. And the name will come to me in a minute. T. Finney said, I feel like I'm in class listening to y'all on my laptop, cooking it up. While I'm just jotting notes for the next episode. I'm feeling homeschooled and classes in session.
Bro,
appreciate that.
Bro, there is no one on the planet, and I can comfortably say this, there's no one on the planet that has wanted this fight more than me and Jeff. I've got an article that I wrote about this fight in 2019. You can go on my when Zurdo Ramirez fought Tommy Carpensi at his first fight at 175, I said the stylistic fight that I want to see the most of Zurdo Ramirez is Dimitri Bivol. And obviously,
we've been asking for this fight for like 3 years.
Has followed Zurdo's career for years because obviously him and Jesse Hart's cool. So we've been wanting this fight. We've been wanting this fight.
And the fact that we got this fight and the fact that the public's not talking about it, I'm sitting up here, I'm like, this is about right. I'm like, this is about right. I said, I don't even care. Like, we got what we want at the end of the day. Says stick and move is what he was doing. Talking about Bivol. Yeah, bro. And the thing, bro, Mike, I gotta call it stick and pivot. He don't even be usually when you think sticking and moving, I'm thinking
he's running
all jab and he moving around the ring all crazy. We gotta call that the stick and pivot. We got to really call it stick and pivot. L Dub said Ammo Williams. Yeah, I appreciate that, y'all. I was struggling with the name. L Dub, he said Okoli dropped
258. He left
258.
258. Yeah, that's a surprise because, but the 258 are now working with Richard Riakpo.
Well,
You know,
Riakpo, right?
so obviously, what Riakpo had Robert Garcia in his corner for his last fight as well. So
Yeah,
Robert Garcia and AJ, they working together, so it makes sense. Like you can't really have two of them on the same.
Yeah. Michael Johnson said Edward did the same thing to Kell Brook. He don't play with fighters going somewhere else or talking down on them.
Exactly.
Hey Michael, here's the thing though. You know the thing that's crazy? Al Heyman literally puts in his contracts that you can't
talk to anyone else.
Yeah,
you
like
can't
you can't.
leave.
Yeah, like you can't negatively say anything about him like in public. Like I don't know why he don't just add that to his contracts. I don't understand it. Like because Bob Arum does it, and Al Heyman. So I don't really get it. Chris G said Ammo, yeah, Ammo Williams. He said L Dub Boxing 258 is Edwards' boy, so I can see that.
No, Boxing 258 is Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua
That's
owns
Joshua.
258.
Yeah, that's Joshua. Let me show this quick Zurdo
footage.
Yeah, because we an hour 45 and I want to close this out within the next 15 minutes.
I had fun today, though.
Yeah, this was good.
I love breaking down film. This is my favorite.
This is the favorite part of the actual show. Like so this is our second time doing this in the past week.
Without even seeing the highlights, I can almost guarantee you, I bet you Zurdo Ramirez highlights or his best moments are going to be when he's got fighters against the ropes.
Oh,
I guarantee you.
I got one better for you, bro. I got specifically Jesse versus Zurdo highlights. So, but we're gonna be able to get what we need to get.
Reason why I say Jesse Hart's probably the best one, because Jesse Hart's a mover. You know, I don't really want to see him fight Abraham because Abraham stood still. Tommy Carpensi really stood still. The last dude he fought, that Cuban dude. What's that dude he fought? I can't even remember his name.
Who you talking about?
Double remind me. His last fight was against a Cuban.
Oh, Zurdo. Yeah,
Zurdo's last fight. Was it against a Cuban dude or?
I think it was Cuban. I think it was a Cuban guy. Yeah. So big shout out to War Kodo, where this video is coming from. Big shout out to War Kodo. Also, this video is for commentary purposes only, which is allowed under the Fair Use Act. I do not want no trouble. I just made it full screen. We good, Shane?
Yeah, that's cool.
Hold on. All right, here we go.
Like you'll see early the success Jesse Hart had and where he had it, and then where the success that Zurdo had. So again, one thing I like about Zurdo, unlike most Mexicans, you know, he's a person. He's a person who likes to, you know, back dudes up against the ropes behind a long, strong jab. You know, he doesn't really get his head that much off the line. You know, and he likes to throw a lot of body attacks. His head's always going to be right there in place.
Yeah.
But you can see the way Zurdo wants his feet to be planted to land shots. And the reason why he's getting success is because Jesse's holding his feet.
Yeah.
You know, he's holding his feet right there. He's not pivoting left or right.
Yeah. Jesse is walking into the fire. So Zurdo feet doesn't matter. Then you see that hook Jesse just landed? Hold on.
Yeah.
That it wasn't even a hook, it was an uppercut that he landed. But you see he caught him backing up.
Yeah.
Bivol that's not a Bivol type shot, but Bivol can land something similar.
You know what would happen is it's more when you try back him up, you're gonna get pivoted to your left or your right. You know, it's very easy for Jesse Hart to maneuver around the ring because if you can clearly see Zurdo's not cutting off the angles. He's walking straight down the middle. Wait, right. Go back there and freeze it. Go back.
All right, just tell me when to freeze it.
I'll tell you when to freeze it. Give it about 5 seconds. I'll tell you exactly where to freeze it. Here, freeze it there. You've just seen Zurdo's walk straight down the middle. If you look, Jesse Hart has a left and he has a right. Zurdo Ramirez is a southpaw. Right now, he's kind of squared up, but he hasn't created an angle to stop Jesse Hart from taking the left or right.
He can go either left or right.
He can go either left or right.
Right.
And he has the foot speed to do it. The difference with Jesse Hart is Jesse Hart's from Philly. So he's not going to go left or right. He's going to hold his feet.
Forward. He's going to go forward.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. Whereas Bivol is going to take that left or right. In the fight, Zurdo's going to have to cut off those angles. He can't just give him an out. He can't give him the left. He can't give him the right. You have to cut off those angles.
And the thing is, what's going to be important in this fight is who takes the center of the ring. You just watch Bivol's highlights. Most 95% of the time, he's in the middle of the ring. Zurdo 95% of the time is in the middle of the ring,
or backing you up to the ropes.
So Bivol and his pivot game is going to be very important. But we're going to continue to run it.
A good shot from
Jesse.
But do you see what I'm saying? When you're in the middle of the ring and Zurdo doesn't have you up against the ropes,
you can get
this is where Bivol has to avoid. Being up against the ropes with Zurdo letting his hands go.
But you can see when Jesse's in the middle of the ring, he's having success.
So much success. But he's backing up to the ropes.
Right. Yeah, see, that's a good hook by Jesse.
Literally. But then he just backs up to the ropes. And Zurdo does a very good job, of really... Zurdo does a really very good job of, he works behind the high guard and he likes to he got pivoted real well there.
Yeah.
That was a good pivot from Jesse Hart. But again, he likes to work behind a long jab, and get his work off. Bivol's going to look to punch in between the shots because, Zurdo's shots are pretty wide. You can clearly see that they're pretty wide.
Bro, and the thing with Jesse that you didn't see in the fight, and I'm kind of curious to see if Bivol gives it to us. Of course, you fight in the southpaw. That lead right hand straight down the middle should be a part of the arsenal. When you're watching Jesse fight, he really doesn't give you that. And this is the first fight. He really don't give you that lead right hand.
But look where the feet is. Jesse's doing the right thing and of getting his feet on the outside. He's just not using his feet.
Yeah, and let me show that again for the people that don't know what we're talking about, because I'm gonna freeze it in a second.
There.
No, hold on. I'm gonna show this one right here. So pay attention to here. So this is Jesse's foot. It's slightly on the outside of Zurdo's foot, but with Jesse here,
he's squared up.
He's squared up, but he's putting max pressure. He's putting max pressure on his right side. So you're thinking Jesse should be able to get his right hand off in this scenario.
Right hook, right uppercut, straight right something.
Exactly. A right something should be coming through. We're gonna play it though. Then see, Jesse just sat there and didn't throw nothing. They let Zurdo get like 5-6 punches off, but the right hand was there. See how he just caught him with that right?
Yeah.
Now I gotta pause it. So this is why I like watching film with Shane. So we're gonna rewind that again, and let me get to this point. So right here, he's in prime position to land something with the right hand right here. And he just don't throw nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shots. Now, let me freeze it real quick. Now
look at the left foot again.
He got his left foot on the outside. Now, this is the difference between Jesse Hart throwing punches while he has the position and when he doesn't throw punches while he has the position. You just watched him get hit with a 6-piece and that he had to block when he wasn't active. Now watch this when he has the position in terms of his feet. Good right hand. He froze him. You see that?
Yeah.
Froze him with that right hand. See, the shots are available.
Right hand again.
Right hand again.
Right hand again. It's there.
It's available. See, you can get your shots off against Zurdo. But
Zurdo's defensively not that great.
no, if Bivol can do what he
Get that
usually
left foot on
does,
the outside.
yeah, he's gonna be able to turn him all night. He's gonna be able to turn him all night long. See, this real quick. What you're seeing from in this fight, and the reason we're showing this Zurdo and Jesse Hart fight is we wanted to show you a guy that Zurdo was fought that got good feet. Jesse has good feet. It's a matter of whether he uses them or not. Jesse is not nearly as disciplined as Bivol, and he's still getting his stuff off.
He's getting his stuff off. There's just times in that fight where I personally remember watching that fight thinking, you're just giving a dude a chance where you don't need to give him. Because every single time where Jesse had space and time, he was just getting his shots off and it was easy for him. But you just see the Philly in him. He just wants to hold his feet and trade in the pocket.
Exactly. And this is why Jesse got criticism after the first fight, because people felt like he could have won that fight if he just boxed him. Let's get at it. Now, this is the last round, and you can see Jesse's just standing there. He's just standing there. You can't just stand there in front of Zurdo.
He's ready to let his hands go.
Yeah, but he's tired though. It's 12th round. He's tired. He's dead tired. And he's talking. He's dead tired though. But if you sit and let Zurdo get what he want,
he's gonna wear you down.
He's gonna wear you down. But I'm gonna let this run.
I mean, he doesn't have the one hitter quitter to iron you out, as you can clearly see.
Right, but it's gonna be curious to see. I'm gonna stop it right here, Shane. It's kind of curious to see how Bivol's gonna approach this fight, because watching the film, you can really go about it one or two ways. Now, I think with Bivol, me personally, what I'm doing is with Bivol, I'm of course, the jab, jab and the 1-2s. And what I'm doing with Bivol is I'm countering Bivol. I'm countering Bivol with a jab to keep that distance. And then I'm looking right hand. I'm looking right hand, like Zurdo's gonna walk right into it. So it depends. So Bivol, how much counter punching is he going to be doing throughout the course of this fight? And I think that's the key.
Zurdo will go for body shots, and if I was Zurdo, I'm looking to go for body shots as well. The issue is, don't go for body shots at mid to long range. This dude's counter ability is way better than yours. And the saying is, as Jeff always says, you don't want to trade a headshot with a body shot.
So body shots to headshots.
You see a few times in that fight, especially early, Zurdo go down to the body with a jab. Don't do that against Bivol. If you're gonna go to the body, make sure you're real close, so you can get the shots off, and it's difficult to counter, and you can smother the work. And body shots and headshots, there's not it's not a good exchange rate. The exchange rate is great.
So Shane, let's give him a quick keys to victory before we get up out of here. So for Zurdo, for him to get a victory versus Bivol, give me the top 3 things he got to do.
So for one, he's got to try and win rounds early. Don't let Bivol get into a certain groove, because Bivol's like Devin Haney. Once they get into a groove, they don't get greedy. They just take over and cruise through the fight. They be 10 rounds up, and you be waiting for them to switch gear. And if it's working, it's working. They don't get greedy. So you got to try and win fight rounds early. Another key to victory is make sure you do go to the body, but you go to the body at close range, and you choose your times when you're fighting. I think the most important key to victory, though, is you got to make sure you're placing your feet. Your foot speed isn't better than his, and it will never be better than his. But you got to make sure you're placing your feet in the right places so he can't spin you. And one of the best things to do is try to stay side on as long as possible. The moment you square up, you're giving him the opportunity to go left. You're giving him the opportunity to go right. So you try to stay side on as long as possible. I don't see Zurdo doing it, you know, but you got to create as much angles as you can, you know,
Yeah.
and that's my keys to victory for Zurdo. I think if he can do those things, his hand speed, his punch variety, you know, his overall aggression, size, and physical strength and aggression will get him to get success, you know?
Yeah. Um, Let me get in the comments real quick. L Dub said, Michael, he said you made Eddie famous in the US because you was the only one talking about him. Salute, because I didn't know much about him before you. Uh Unieski Gonzalez is
That's
fighting.
who I was talking
Yeah, that's
about.
who he was talking. Yeah, that's what he was talking about. He's fighting Andre Durrell on a Morrell undercard on YouTube. Okay, okay, so that's the undercard portion. Okay. Uh Michael said, L Doug, he said, damn, what? He said, man, don't butter me up. But thank you. He said silent agreements, you can't wait with Bivol. You have to stay on guard or give it just as he gives it. Mike, I think because I don't think we need to give the keys of victory for Bivol. I think if Bivol just go do what Bivol does, like Bivol's gonna win the fight. So
Mm-hmm.
this is really about Zurdo. For me, I think with Zurdo, with what he needs to do, number one, he needs to take the center of the ring. I know that sounds very, very basic, very, very non-important, but the reason why it's important is because that's Bivol's spot. Bivol likes to take this the center of the ring, and he's like the pivot around the center of the ring. He's not around the perimeters. So in order for you to get Bivol anywhere near the ropes, you need to take the center of the ring.
Center of the ring.
That's yeah, that's number one. Number two, which is the reason why I think Zurdo is going to lose this fight, is Zurdo needs to win the battle with a footwork. But the way Zurdo fights, Zurdo is not worried about where his feet are. He's just trying to get in range so he can get his shots off. And
Facts.
that's something that you can't do
A bit
against
similar
Bivol.
to like a Brandon Figueroa, for example.
Correct. Correct. Like it's certain guys you have to win the footwork battle. And Bivol's one of those guys. He would have to win the footwork battle. Number one is a better angle for him to get his punches off. Number two, you can kind of better control which way Bivol is moving. Bivol's one of the
Facts.
best in the game at moving left,
Left
right, and
or right.
it's
Literally.
not he doesn't telegraph it neither. Everything is fluid. Everything with Bivol is fluid. So you have to break,
Yeah,
you
you
got to
know, break
break
the
his
rhythm.
rhythm. You have to break his rhythm. Like that's the second thing. You have to break his rhythm. And number three, like Shane said, you have to win rounds early. Because if you win, because Bivol's one of the best in the sport at winning rounds. He's one of the best in the sport. I think between off top, Bivol's in my top five, Spence is in my top five,
Haney,
Haney's in my top five, uh
Usyk.
Usyk is in my top five. I would go them four. Them four. I ain't gonna think of a fifth person. Them four, they're the best at winning rounds. Period. So Zurdo has to win. He has to be at least even with Bivol after six. He got to be at least 3-3 after six for him to
If
have a
he's
shot.
4 rounds down, 5 rounds down, it's over.
If he's down 5-1, 4-2 is risky. But if
Because
Bivol feels like he's ahead after 6-7 rounds, you're not
he's
getting Bivol
cruising.
out of his groove. You're not
Literally.
gonna get Bivol out of his groove. Like you have to win rounds against these type of dudes early. Those are
And
the
that's
three things.
why, and that, like, I vividly remember this. Like, that's why Craig Richards had so much success. Well, not so much success, but he had more success than anyone else against Bivol because the early rounds, he was I think it was just him being very naive and young, you know,
Mhm.
trying to impose himself.
Yeah,
And it almost offset Bivol for the first few rounds. Because I think after 6 rounds, it was it was almost even 4-2, but it was closer than people thought it would be.
yeah,
Once it gets past there, he makes you want to get desperate. Like you can see the desperation in Canelo's face. Like you would have thought that Canelo would have taken over after the last six. The last six was the worst part of Canelo's fight because he makes you get desperate. because he stays. You know, someone who just cruise controls all the way through, and you just look up and you realize 9 rounds have gone. You ain't taking much damage, but you ain't giving nothing either.
Yeah, and another thing by watching Bivol, and usually Shane and I say this about Sean Porter. Um, Canelo has some of the best head movement in the game, side to
Fact.
side his upper half. He's one of the best in the game at actually moving side to
Zurdo ain't
side.
gonna give you that.
Zurdo's not gonna give you that, but it leads me right to my comment, right to my point. Canelo's one of the best in the sport in terms of his, and I'm talking from chest up movement defensively. It's not scripted or nothing. Like he's really, really good at it. Canelo couldn't get out of the way of the straight shots. He couldn't get out of the way of the jab. He couldn't get out of the way of the right hand. Even that little stab jab to the body, he couldn't get away with that. He couldn't get away with it. He couldn't get away from Bivol's straight nothing. But I'm going to tell you why, though. This is something Shane and I say all the time. If you're a fan of the channel, then you know what I'm getting ready to say.
Yep.
You take a
I
guy
know
like
exactly.
Sean, but you take a guy like Sean Porter. You get a whole bunch of this, Shane. What
The
we doing
saying
with
that Jeff always says, if you're going from one side of the street to the next side of the street, you got to cross the middle.
You got to cross the middle of the street to get to the other side. So all of this and all of that, all Bivol was doing was straight down the pipe. And he was running into it every single time. So the reason why we like Bivol in this fight is because Canelo's probably the harder guys to really land the straight shots with consistently. Zurdo's not giving you none of that. He's straight 12-30. He's straight 12-30, straight up and down. You understand what I'm saying? Straight up and down at the end of the day. So Bivol, if he can make sure he's winning the battle with his feet, he's going to have a field day with Zurdo. And we love Zurdo. He's going to have a field day because the difference between Bivol and Jesse is going to sit there and he's going to scrap with him. What Bivol's going to do is he's going to get his shots off and he's going to make Zurdo reset. That's why Jesse didn't get a win in the first fight. That's why he didn't get a win in the second fight, because he didn't make Zurdo reset. And he just tried to win the exchanges.
He made Zurdo win a lot of things on the back end. And that's the problem. You know, when you get greedy in exchanges, you know, dudes win it, and especially Mexican fighters. They're the best at winning on the back end. I remember, even though he's not Mexican, when Kiko Martinez fought Kid Galahad, you know, Kid Galahad, you know, I remember we were watching that fight and Kid Galahad was just schooling Kiko Martinez. But that shot on the back end, you know, and when you get comfortable, you start to forget about, you know, as Jeff's saying, making sure your right hand's home when you're leaving the back door, making sure your chin's tucked, making sure your head's off the line. You start to get comfortable and get into cruise control and get complacent. You know, dudes like Devin Haney and those dudes, they don't. That doesn't happen to those dudes.
Bivol was one of the top 4 guys in the sport in winning rounds. It's no getting around it. And the reason why Jesse couldn't get the victories is because it was too many times in their fight where Zurdo's getting 5, 6, 7 shots off unanswered. It doesn't matter if he lands or not. The judges just see 5, 6, 7 shots getting thrown and nothing's coming back. It was too many times that happened. If you're turning a guy and you're making a guy reset, you're not getting those 5, 6, 7 punch combinations, especially with Bivol. He counters. You very rarely see a guy counter with a jab.
Facts.
You don't see that a lot. You see check hooks, things like that. If somebody really athletic, you might even see them counter with an uppercut. You rarely see a guy actually counter with a hard jab. It's not even it's a hard jab. You understand what I'm saying? So Bivol, if Bivol's on his game, I don't see Bivol losing this fight. Like, he could really school Zurdo if he's on his game. Like, Zurdo's gonna have to fight lights out, and I'm talking from a discipline standpoint. And I haven't seen him fight lights out from a discipline standpoint in none of his fights. He beats
No,
everybody with volume, and you're not gonna beat Bivol with just volume. You got to bring
just
some type of
it,
education to it.
yeah, the foot, especially as Jeff said with the footwork, you gotta cut off those angles. You can't make him go left and right. I'll be able to know if Bivol's gonna win that fight off the first 2 rounds. If Zurdo is giving Bivol the left and right, I know he's gonna lose. I
Yeah,
know he's gonna lose.
and check the punch count, check the punch count numbers as well for Zurdo, and I'll have this for tomorrow's show. It's gonna be I'm gonna get how many punches he averages a round in terms of Zurdo. I'm assuming off the top of my head, I'm assuming maybe around 70 to 80 punches a round he's averaging. If Bivol's on his game, Zurdo should probably be averaging maybe 10 to 15 less punches around against Bivol, and that's because he's either going to be defending shots or he's getting turned and have to reset. So we got to definitely pay attention to that. I'm thinking 10 to 15 punches lower than what his average is. If Bivol can get around that amount, then you know that's a key stat to judge how effective Bivol is. If Zurdo's throwing around 70 to 80, 85, we got a problem in terms of Bivol being able to turn Zurdo and the footwork and things like that. If Bivol's doing what he's supposed to be doing footwork wise, he shouldn't be hitting his average in terms of punches thrown. He shouldn't be hitting his average against
No
Bivol.
chance.
No chance. He shouldn't. Michael Johnson says, Shane, I hope that he said, I hope that's a real leather couch because you in the same damn spot every time. That's just he loved the corner of that couch. He said,
But I love comfort period, bro.
Yeah, he said I got $2 on Bivol. He said, what y'all got? I don't know what the I don't know what the odds are, but I would feel comfortable with Bivol. I would feel comfortable with Bivol. We were, bro, if it wasn't for the judges, we would have put the farm up on Bivol against Canelo. If it wasn't for the judges, we'd have put the farm up. L Dub said Ray Vargas versus Oshaki Foster.
The
News is
thing
on
is,
the way.
Ray Vargas is due a good performance because I know he beat Magsayo in the last fight, but he got dropped a couple times, didn't he?
Yeah, Foster's a bad matchup for Vargas.
You think so?
Yeah. And when they announced that fight, I don't know
You think
when.
Foster's gonna win?
Yeah.
Well,
but the thing, that's a perfect. So Dub, we can set something up. When they announce that fight, we would love to have you on and do a little film session similar to what we did tonight. But I think Foster's a bad matchup for Vargas. I would have to get into the tapes to actually show it, but just off the top of my head, off the top of my head.
If Ray Vargas loses, you know what? It would be that belt will be passed around real quick because Gary Russell lost to Magsayo. Magsayo then lost to Ray Vargas. Then Vargas will lose to Foster. I mean, that division, to be fair, is probably one of my least favorite divisions. Also, you got what's my dude's name? You got Navarrete. He's champion at WBO.
But
You got Ray Vargas 126.
But he's getting ready to fight. Navarrete is, I think he is fighting. Who did Shakur just beat?
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, Oscar Valdez. Yeah, Oscar Valdez.
Yeah. Well, at 130.
I think so. Yeah, they fighting for Shakur's old belt, the one that he dropped that he lost.
So that means Navarrete is leaving 126.
He's leaving
which is
26,
interesting.
going up to 30. Yeah,
because Eddie Hearn's obviously invested a lot in Lee Wood at 126 with that WBA strap.
Right.
I don't know what's going on with that.
But I think Foster should have been got his opportunity. I'm glad he's getting it. I think he should have been got it. I ain't talking like 2-3 years been got it. I would say I would have liked to have seen him got it maybe like a year ago. He said, man, I said $2, man. I got less money than Andre. Shit. That's funny. So he said, on what undercard do you think Okay, L Dub's down for the film session. That's what's up. He said it makes sense for Benavidez Plant. It does make sense for Benavidez Plant. Make a lot of sense. Navarrete
Yeah,
Valdez.
so that's at 130.
Yeah, that's at 130, right? L
So
Dub said
so
not
who's
lying.
gonna take up the strap at 126? Who's at 122? Um, who's
Damn,
at, Fulton
could he go up and go get that?
potentially. I still want to see him fight
Or
Ahmed alive.
or does Rais Salim go up since Cool Boy not gonna give him a shot?
He could go up. I mean, I want to see some new faces at 126 because
Yeah,
we
I need
obviously
some of
we
them
had
guys at 22 to go up.
yeah we had obviously Leo Santa Cruz, but obviously I don't know what's going on with him. Um, obviously Lee Wood knocked out Conlon. Gary Russell's old enough, past it. You know, Navarrete had that WBO strap for so long,
Yeah.
so long. So it's
Um.
interesting to see what happens at 126.
Yeah. Dub said February 3rd. Vacant WBO said Team Fulton will ask the WBC to fight Brandon Figueroa for the vacant WBC at 126. Hmm. L Dub, Shane WBO vacant fight. Robisi Ramirez versus Dog Bay.
Robisi Ramirez is a really
Yo,
good fighter.
Robisi is a really good fight. Actually,
But
Shane, on the last show, I actually showed the highlight of Robisi in his last fight. Robisi is people don't talk about Robisi, but Robisi is one of the best at closing distance and disguising it. That's how he caught Abraham Nova with that shot that put him out in the
yeah,
corner, man. Like
exactly.
he closes distance real
But
smooth,
but
real
but
smooth.
Dogbo, what he's been recycled so many times. Like I can't
Man,
see Robisi losing to him.
nah, I think he gets Dog Bay up out of there within 8 if he's on his game. I think he gets him up out of there within 8. And you remember when Dog Bay, they was promoting Dog Bay like he was that dude, and they didn't know about Navarrete, and Navarrete just cleaned him out. Dub said 126. Before y'all, T Fanny said, before y'all close out, Shane, what do you think of Anthony Yard? Is it true if he's getting past Stefani, he's fighting
That
Beterbiev?
fight's already announced. The
Yeah,
Stefani fight is only a stay busy.
that's a
Beterbiev, I
stay
mean
busy
the
fight.
Stefani fight's only a stay busy. Beterbiev
Yeah.
versus Anthony Yards signed sealed. It's already happening.
Yeah, Yard and Beterbiev is already happening. That's fight been
I don't
signed actually.
I don't know what whoever's managing Anthony Yard, they just don't have any consideration for this dude.
Nah,
Like,
they don't. They
why would
don't.
you put a dude in there without? Oh, not a good look.
Yeah, we'll talk about that another time. That's a whole nother Warrington versus Lopez, December 10th. Warrington on
See,
upset
that's
alert.
another person. Like, obviously, that whole
Yeah,
Warrington, Kiko Martinez, Kid Galahad saga that was
yeah.
going on with that. Like, the truth is, Mauricio, Lara, all of those dudes. Like, uh, I'm
That's
kind
like
of
a whole melting pot. You
literally,
know what I mean?
I'm glad like someone like Ramirez is at that weight class. I hope Ray
Yeah,
Vargas can stay active because we just had real that there was no progress in that weight class. Now,
nah.
obviously, Eddie Hearn does have multiple champions at that weight class. Maybe we might see some
Yeah, might
unification,
see
but
some unification or at least some better movement
literally,
at the weight class. We need better movement at the weight class. And we're gonna get these last two out the way, but this stuff that L Dub is talking about in the comment section, this is what we're talking about. Like this, you ain't heard now. Blunt wanted to talk. He wanted me to run the video like with whatever Terrence Crawford was talking about. I really wasn't trying to do that, but there's been none of that talk. Like there's been none of that talk.
he's
This whole
talking hard, just boxing.
hardcore boxing. You know what I'm
We're
saying?
at 126 weight class right now, so
We're at
we've been
126.
skipping.
We've been bouncing around like all over the place. L Dub says, Shane, how good is Archie Sharp? Sharp will fight
Good
Liam
fighter.
Wilson
I like
on
Archie Sharp.
January 28th on the Charlo Zoo undercard. Winner get Navarrete Valdez winner.
Archie Sharp is a good fighter.
I like Archie Sharp. I like Archie Sharp.
I mean,
Solid. Solid.
he's a stereotypical British fighter, but I think if you manage your expectations with him, I think he can be another, you
I
know.
think his I think when I think of the European fighter, I think like their technical ability. I feel like it's a cap to it. For some reason with Archie Sharp, I think his ceiling is a little. I feel like he can add elements to his game, and I usually don't say that about the European fighter.
Yeah,
I
literally.
think he can literally add some different elements to his game. I think his ceiling is a little higher than the usual European like prospect or guy that you think is
And why I
nice with it.
like Archie Sharp is because I remember when, and Jeff can relate to this, when Josh Kelly was coming out and Conor Ben was coming out. You can tell these dudes were almost emulating someone else's style.
Mm-hmm.
Archie Sharp fights like Archie Sharp. So,
Yeah, yeah,
he feels, and credit to Lee Wood, because Lee Wood does the same thing. Lee Wood
yeah,
fights like Lee Wood. They fight their own style. And I feel like sometimes people can get lost in identities. I think we saw that
yeah.
with Josh Kelly and Avanesian. They got
It's,
lost in identities. Even Kid Galahad when he fought Kiko Martinez, they got lost
and,
in the identity of
and
just
it
trying
could
to be
be
something that they're not.
and it could be coming with Eubank too, because he's having an identity crisis right now, fighting like Roy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But
that's true. That's
against
true.
a good fighter, that's when you fighting somebody like that, you gotta make them question their next move. They're so used to moving because they're kind of like emulating somebody, like they kind of just
It
move
doesn't
just
come
fluent.
natural.
It don't come natural. Like they're kind of just moving. It's scripted. It's scripted. So the main
Literally.
thing you have to do is make them think before
Or
they
do something
do.
outside of the script.
They
Think
got to do something
outside of the
outside
box.
of the script, right? So when you take that Josh Kelly fight, the Avanesian Josh Kelly fight, Josh Kelly was favored in that fight. But the thing about Josh Kelly, I'm like, we even said it. I think we might have been live for that fight.
You was live.
We was live for that fight. The thing that's crazy, Shane and I was saying this, and we was like, yo, even when Josh Kelly does his shoulder rolls, it's scripted. He's not doing it
Literally.
based off the shot that's coming. He literally
And
goes like this,
Avanesian, and
and he going on to it.
Avanesian done the one thing that you do when someone scripts. Jeff just done a movement of left, right, left, right, left, right. If you're doing that, a opponent will throw a left hand and a right hand and a left hand and a right hand. What Avanesian was doing was he was throwing three at the same hand at the same time. So you
Yeah.
throw left, left, right, left, 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 right. So you might go bam, but then the left hand's coming again. So
So
you can't
yeah,
just go bam, because if you turn, you're turning
right.
right back into
So
that left hand.
So when you're going, so Josh Kelly, he scripted. So he was going boom, 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 boom. Now what Avanesian was doing was boom, boom, boom. So when you're going like this, if I'm throwing three straight, if I'm tripling up, you know what I'm saying? I'm tripling up, then
You're just walking into shots.
you're walking into shots. You know what I'm saying? You're walking into shots. So oh man, my bro came in here the last second, bro. We gotta get up off this joint, bro. Yeah, Dub said Baturbia
Yeah,
versus
done
Yard
deal. Yeah,
done
I know that.
January 28th. Michael Johnson, man, y'all ain't going nowhere. Y'all gonna stay on until I'm ready. Bro, I promise you we get up out of here, man. Yo, my guy Pigeon in the building, man. Big shout out to Pigeon. Bro, you would come in here on the
Pigeon's new to
last
me,
second.
bro. Pigeon's new to me,
No,
bro.
so Pigeon, so Pigeon, I met Pigeon on Facebook, and we got into a back and forth about, not even a back and forth, but we was talking I think we was talking Spence Crawford. So Pigeon, and let me know this you from Facebook. We literally got into like about like podcasts and stuff like that. So he's seen, I don't know which video he watched, but he was like, yo, like, you all right? So I told him, I said I would help him with yeah, it is him. Big shout out to Pigeon. But I told him, I said, yo, I was just like, yo, like when you ready to get started with your joint, like I'll give you some advice. I'll help you. And he's like, yo, like I ain't used to people helping like for no reason. And I'm like, bro. So Pigeon, for example, right before we get up off of here, bro, I don't know what your schedule is tomorrow, but let's link up. You in Birmingham, okay, bro?
Is
Let's
that
link up.
Birmingham in America or Birmingham in the UK?
Oh yeah, Birmingham. I want to say Alabama. I seen a picture. I want to say
Fair enough.
Alabama.
Maybe it says
Birmingham.
Alabama.
But let us know, is it Birmingham, Alabama, or Birmingham, UK? Let us know. But there's someone in here, T Finney, 3319. He'll tell you we've sat and we out the UK. Damn. That's what's up. Shane in the UK too. So like T Finney that's in the comment
Yeah,
section.
we. I mean, T Finney's channel's real close to me. But continue, Jeff. Go on.
Yeah. So we've helped T Finney out, like get his podcast started and just get him up and going as well. So it's really just something that we do, to be honest with you. Anybody that's in the boxing, we're willing to talk and all of that, you know what I'm saying? But
There's T Finney right there. He will tell you,
yeah,
bro.
T
Like,
Finney will tell you. He said, "I'm old, dude. I'm 49, bro. I ain't young either. Shane, the only young one on the panel. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that doesn't matter at the end of the day. But nah,
yeah. Today
a
we
T
just been
Finney,
talking about just breaking down sport period, just the sport period.
yeah, like T Finney will tell you like what conversations that Shane and I have had with him before he started. You know what I'm saying? Even Blunt, like we told Blunt, like I told Blunt, I was just like, bro, like you might as well just. He was in my comment section making enemies and shit, and I was just like, bro, you might as well just start your own joint. Like, so you're not the only person that we've actually talked to and been like, yo, like you should just go ahead and start your own joint.
Yeah,
But
there's a few offshoots of G5 Jeff TV, you
yeah,
know.
couple, yeah, off casters, you know what I'm saying?
You gonna start UK thing, I hear you.
Yeah, so it's bro. So we can definitely I'll chat with you on. I wish you'd have jumped on here early because I'd just put you right on.
If
But
you have Instagram, follow Jeff on Instagram.
yeah, he's on Facebook. If you on Instagram too, bro, send me a I'll message you. I'll message you my Instagram, John, too. But we'll definitely set something up.
You gonna
He said
do
I
a
want to
real
do a
thing.
real thing. Yeah, no, listen, and that's all good. But the one thing I will tell you, I'm like everybody doesn't like people could watch podcasts all day long, but you got to actually do it to actually see if you like it. You know what I'm saying? So actually, you know what, bro? Play this one back. Play this one back. This would be a good indication. And I would say when we start running the film, Shane, like around like an hour, about hour
Maybe
20,
about hour 30, round
maybe an
about there.
hour. Yeah, we about an hour 30 into the podcast, bro, and we start breaking down film and things like that, man. Watch from that point on because we got into a lot of just other talk that we wasn't expecting. From around like an hour and a half to now, watch it and just see how Shane and I flow. And this is just something that we do all the time. You know what I'm saying? So we'll definitely link up. Even if we can chat and I'll put you on the line with T Finney and T Finney will tell you, you know what I'm saying? But when we say we gonna do something, like if it don't get done, it ain't our fault. Like something happened. You know what I'm saying? Like something happened to stop us from doing whatever we said we was gonna do. But 9 times out of 10, we say we gonna do something. Like we get it done. At the end of the day, man. But we gonna close this joint out, man. This was 2 hours and 27 minutes strong. This was an old school type joint. You know what I'm saying? But we definitely we to be honest with you, we didn't even get there was like 3 other videos that I was gonna break down because I had Zurdo Jesse Hart too, and I had Bivol Craig Richards queued up too, because we do have to show the other side of things. Like if anybody's gonna have any type of success, we got to show it. Like Craig Richards is one of the guys that had more success than others, when it came down to Bivol. So I wanted to break down what he was actually doing, you know what I mean, to be successful against Bivol. But we gonna leave it right there, man. Shane, give me your social media, good brother.
I'm Shane the number 1.
And you can follow Vlog on Instagram and Twitter, Boxing First Vlog. And you guys can follow me all over the place, man. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything at G5FTV. Pigeon, definitely get with me so we can link you up for the next show. I will be on tomorrow. We can finish off this film and all of that and really give our final predictions and things like that. Big shout out to Mike Staten for giving us the trivia for today. That was dope. And we just gonna close it out right there, man. So on behalf of VP Shane, Boxing First Vlog, your boy G5 Jeff TV, man, it's episode 141, Goodfellas Podcast. We out.